dinosaurs, they ain't dictating my future. I love the game, but everybody be rapping like future. Medusa mind state, I turn you to stone. I shoot a verse that will make you disperse. It's true, they turned into the truth a long time ago. They don't wanna respect it, don't wanna acknowledge the power shift. Ego, they protect it, but I will flow like electric. I'm gonna set this off more punchy. I move metric, them man still moving imperial. My tech, cause I'm moving hectic. Now everybody wanna talk about the top four. I'm not no number, but I know I'll be the top scorer. And some brothers just be lying to themselves. So I'm airplane mode now, touching on the top floor. No competition, competition is none. My composition's no comparison, reversing it wrong. The understated victor, stand alone, I stand on my ones. My seconds be the hardest, and my best is still yet to come. It's mine. Overrated artists living off the hype. They got no longevity in the game, they got no stripes. No longer social in person, they live on social media. So social skills are not working because they live for likes. It's all a make-believe world, but they love living in the bubbles. They scrolling and reading all the BS you type just for attention. A couple shares or a mention is meaningless, but it's like nobody wanna deal with real life. I spit that real life, say what's on my mind. I will not pander to the climate of the deaf, dumb and blind. Never dumbing down my bars, only realness in the lines. You will only hear the honesty and passion in my rhymes. I'm staying connected cause I perfected my art form. This show I directed.
What? Fuck. God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't you just love it when shit decides it's gonna fucking break on you? Like right when you do something? Resonate. Okay, there we go. I love how that fucking happened. So yeah. So Grand is gonna be a bit late. So there's that. Yeah, hello, Bitcrack. How are you? That is such a weird... That I don't know if I'll ever get used to that name, Bitcrack. You having fun over there? They're having a seizure. That's all I can describe what's going on over there is it's a seizure. I think I will wait a bit before bringing in the one thing, but I like big butts. What the fuck?
My audio is probably routed wrong. Let me...
I can hear you.
Up with my tracking.
I can hear you. But it seems like my audio decided it's not gonna work. And you guys... Yeah, you guys are able to hear me. Fuck. Again. I love this type of shit. Hey! Oh shit, separate, streaming camera output. No, that should be fine. main thing is why. So, great. They pushed an update, and now, I think they pushed an update, because now, what the where the fuck is, here it is. Pulse audio input? No, why? Oh, I'll get to your message here soon. I think I know what's going on. Let me do this. Boop. There we go. Now it's gonna pick it up. Okay, cool. You are very accurate. Anyways, friend suggested me to make that. That's not what I'm called with butt crack. Meme. Yeah. Yeah, we can. Okay. That's great. Butt crack. It's butt crack. Yeah, I joke. So, okay, so now the audio's coming in through, cause, yeah.
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, you're very echoey.
Oh no.
Well, not echoey as in mic-wise, but echoey as in there's a reverb in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Noticed.
yeah.
My tracking is still off though, and I don't know what to do about that.
I hate Monodo sometimes. Yeah. Bitrate? That's interesting. Also, Grand. That's kind of why I'm just sticking with Steam VR, because I've had Monodo break on me like 4 times now.
I have.
Meanwhile, I've consistently had Steam VR work. Consistently.
I stopped using Steam VR because it broke every week.
Yeah, no, for me, Steam VR is... like, every time I fire up Steam VR, like, I may need to restart it at least once during launching it, but once I do that one restart of it,
Yeah.
it just works.
Yeah. Sometimes that would happen, but more often, well, okay, all the time it would require at least one restart, but approximately once every week or 2 weeks, it would just, forget something, and I would need to troubleshoot it again and resolve a file cap issue or something. And yeah, Monado is worse in a lot of ways, but I have not needed to reconfigure and troubleshoot it since I set it up.
Yeah, no, for me, for some reason, Monado just stops working randomly. The
Yeah.
biggest issue I have with Steam VR is the asynchronous reprojection is total fucking ass.
Yeah, it is.
But in the I was looking at some of the beta stuff, and I've been seeing more and more Linux related stuff in the beta patch notes.
Well,
So Valve's
maybe
cooking.
Eventually, they will fix any of it,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I'll be able to try it again.
Well, like the saying goes, Valve works on Valve time.
Yeah.
Hey, Grant's finally in.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in VR because Monado was starting, WOX was starting, Steam refused to allow Resonite to connect even when I manually put the environment variables in there. it would not connect. So I don't know what that is, but some kind of issue.
That's fun. So,
Let me click this button to see if it crashes me.
let's see.
No, so they try and connect.
Issue massive reverb on the other goober. Practically unhearable. Yeah, let me get rid of that reverb.
Or at least tone it down.
I think I'll... Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool that there's reverb in here, but like, it is kind of ass.
Yeah. And it's a little bit weird that the reverb is on other people's voice, but not on my voice.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's
it would be
see.
difficult for them to do that correctly in a way that doesn't cause problems. But it's
Great. Let's see here. Reverb!
My lighting was fucked.
Off! Say something. Hey! Okay. Yeah, reverb is cool and all, but like, it can get very annoying.
yeah.
So, nice. I'm also gonna go ahead and turn you up because you're a little bit quiet. But my main thing is, actually, firstly, you're halfway cut off. Grand.
One sec.
You're like half cut. Actually, if I might be able to do like a bit of a rotate and move backwards a bit like that, and then we all get our own beanbag.
Mm-hmm.
Like Grant could sit in that beanbag, you sit in that one. Or I could sit in this far back one. And then, yeah. And then Grant can sit right over there.
One
Yeah.
moment dealing with something.
There we go. Beans for beans. Yes. And then let me do a bit of a zoom in. It does not want to be zoomed in. God damn it. I need to probably fix something here real quick. Hold on. God damn it. I'm still fucking working on kinks and whatnot. I'm probably like the hardest to see, being all the way in the back. But, anyways, did you guys see what Fuchs posted?
Which thing?
He posted it like last night on Blue Sky. He posted it.
mean-
Oh, I don't follow the Blue Sky.
Yeah.
You mean the splitting stuff?
Yeah, he's finally working on doing the split.
Yeah.
Well, he said that, like, it started, but obviously
It's
there's a
gonna
lot that
take
goes into
months.
that.
It's gonna take a while, yes, but he started.
I mean, the thing was that we said that, like audio was going to take a while, but it took a lot shorter than we thought it was going to take.
Yeah.
But it should be soon. One second.
Yeah, it should be soon, trademark. So, but I'm just happy that
Yeah.
it's finally happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it took how long to get to here?
too long. But yeah, like, they've got to design the IPC architecture they're going to use for the splitting, then actually implement it, and check that nothing breaks. Because
Yeah.
everything has to work. If anything isn't good or isn't, like, if I don't know whether thread safety will come into it at all, whether that will matter depending on what they're doing.
Yeah, it
But
will.
If Fruits Engine and Unity are a bit too close with some things, thread safety could definitely be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got someone else.
Oh, Jay. Is it Jay that joined?
Yeah, I think it's JJ for.
Yeah, Jay. It did join in. But yeah, no, I'm just happy that the big split's finally happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The splitting is nigh. The splitting is nigh.
The
A lot of this
splitting!
stuff should have
It's
just been done
not!
correctly the first time, but going back and doing it correctly is better than it just never working ever.
So, in the argument for that, they kind of needed to get an MVP, a minimum viable product. And they had one. But the consequence is that now that they had a working platform, they needed to start iterating over that and getting it actually fine-tuned again. So, it does mean that there's going to be regressions in some areas. That is going to happen.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was saying about they have to check everything for regressions. That
yeah,
I imagine that the pre-release for this will take ages to get through.
Yep.
Because
And it's a J.
Like everything will have to be checked, from audio itself to like everything else, to make sure that the extra speed bump
Yeah.
isn't going to change how something behaves. Like if something's tied to the frame rate or how performant it is, then it might need to be reworked in the pre-release.
Things really shouldn't be tied to the frame rate very much.
Well, not necessarily the frame rate, but like
Yeah.
it will change on it. Like it won't be depend on
Yeah.
the number, because that's not good. And we will have noticed that in the thing where during the April Fools, where they said, "Oh yeah, press this button and you double your frames," as a bit of a joke. Like we would have noticed then if anything was weird with anything but audio.
Yeah.
I am feeling a little bit motion sick from poor tracking. I am going to restart Monado, and hopefully that fixes the problem.
All right.
Be back momentarily.
How are you doing, Jay?
I am doing. It's
You
a
doing-
weekend.
Are you
Just
doing the
back
do?
From the balcony. Nice, warm, with a bit of wind. Typical summer evening.
You mean it's not raining for you?
Oh, actually the skies are pretty. I can see a
'Cause
bunch of
rain-
planes lined up to land at the local airport. It's nice. There is
Yeah.
like
Because
yeah, it's a
It's
nice.
a players in the chat.
I know, like a British summer is, hey, you wanted rain, right? Right?
Yeah, but that's British summer. I'm up north. Come on.
Yeah, usually Finnish weather is mostly just cloudy, isn't it?
Cloudy, snow in winter. Honestly, it doesn't rain a lot compared to where I used to live. So usually the weather is pretty nice. Let's check for good measure. Yeah, they said there's gonna be rain next week apparently, but usually it clears out. Like there was supposed to be rain today on, it didn't rain, so we'll see.
How's the
I'm gonna
Foops? The
reload
Foops is
quickly
doing good.
because I think my lighting's buggered.
Ah,
So I'll just leave and rejoin the world.
Resonite's been having a fun time today, hasn't it?
Really, been very nice for me today, actually.
So, Yeah, no, when I started up Resonite today, it just was like no audio or no mic for you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that was fun. So, yeah. By the way, Big Split is starting to be worked on.
What will it be?
The Big Split.
Hey.
Resonite.
Hey, come on, you come on. You've known me for how long now? 1 year, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
You know that I monitor the GitHub closer than anybody else.
Yes.
So
I'm excited for it.
by joining those two things together, you can assume I've heard about the split.
Yeah. And it's great.
Of course, it's great. The big thing that we were all waiting for is being worked on at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
just-
probably gonna take some time, but I'm excited for what it will be when it's finished. Or I'm even excited for the first beta test of it.
I'm just hoping that there's actually an improvement on it.
I think there's definitely an improvement.
Like, I hope that there's a frame rate improvement with it.
Well, from what I've seen during the previous updates of the runtime, or like the headless, for instance, there's probably gonna be a big difference on a lot of things. First, all the mods will probably break, or at least the mod loaders. That's kind of inevitable when you do huge structural changes like that. But then,
Yeah.
I think there will be performance,
Yeah, the
huge
mod load,
performance gains.
the mod loader is gonna definitely be fucking broken for a while.
Honestly, let's be honest.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can all play without mods for a week if it means you have better performance.
Oh yeah,
Who
definitely.
cares
Some-
about
some of
mods
the
at
mods-
this point?
Some of the mods are basically just for performance. Also, my lighting is still fucked.
Yeah, it does. Are you running on Proton?
Yep.
Yeah, it does that for me on some world. Not this one. It's pretty nice.
Which version of Proton?
A custom one that's using NT-Sync.
Is it GE Proton 922 RTSP 17-1 or something like that?
No, it's not
Okay.
RTSP. I can tell you that much now.
I just used the base Proton GE because it works like 99% of the time.
Mm.
So, also, I will say this: Resonite has no issues with my VPN, but Elite Dangerous, oh, it has issues with it.
It really depends on the game, on etc. What they
It-
block.
It makes no fucking sense to me.
Like, what kind of issues do you get using Elite Dangerous with your VPN?
It literally just says cannot connect to servers.
Hmm.
That's it. It literally just says it cannot connect to servers.
I know some games block some VPN servers, but usually you have an error message
Oh.
when it's the case.
No,
A
Elite
proper one.
Elite's not blocking my VPN because it would work on Windows with the VPN.
Oh. Yeah, then
Yeah.
no clue.
So it would cooperate with Molvat on Windows, but on Linux it just seems to take a massive shit.
Hmm.
So, by the way, I know you did Linux VR. I'm using Steam VR
Why would you do that?
because Monardo breaks every fucking day.
What do you mean it breaks every
like
day?
the only time in recent memory that I've had Monado break is today, when for some reason, well, in part it was WLX was being weird with grabbing my screens, for whatever reason that may be, and then Monado now, or rather Open Composite, isn't detecting Resonite,
Yeah, no, for some reason
or Resonite isn't detecting it.
Monardo will just say that it would just pop up saying core dumped.
That's really odd.
Yeah.
That is.
I tried rebuilding it, I tried everything, and it'll just come up saying Koi dumped. And I'm just like, why the fuck? Why? But then Steam VR, every time I've launched it, it's pretty much worked.
That's even more odd than Monado not working.
The asynchronous reprojection is ass.
It's more that Steam VR on Linux is ass. For instance, it will just crash on launch, just not responsive.
Yeah, no,
you.
again, it's
Are you
just...
using Envision or?
Yeah, I'm using Envision.
You know what? I'm gonna join using Monado right now. I'll be right back.
How are you building it? Just out of curiosity, I'm just telling Envision to build Monado, and it should just work. It worked for the first few days, but then after that, it just stopped working.
Did you copy a profile to make sure it was using a different one? So it wasn't like trying to use the default one?
I've tried that. I tried just purging it and reinstalling it. I've tried so much stuff, but it just pops up with like Koi dumped at the end.
If it's called dump, then something very weird's going on, because it's not likely that happens with Monado. That'd have to be a lot of things failing.
Yeah.
Like in the log, does it like say about finding the devices, or is it even before that?
It will say it found all the devices and found the lighthouses and whatnot. And it just sits there, and then all of a sudden it just pops up saying, like, Koi, well, the full line, of course, is seg fault Koi dumped.
Yeah.
After, like, 5 seconds after the last message saying it found one of the last tracker I have. After it says it found the last tracker I have, 5 seconds go by, and then it just says segmentation fault, Koi dumped. So, and the other issue is that the dump file doesn't, for some reason, contain any information, which I find is weird. Like, it literally just reports that it is 0 bytes big. So, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. It makes no sense to me. But SteamVR is working. But SteamVR just works after that. So after that incident. So I have no idea what happened. I have gotten Monado working again for an entire day before it went back to that behavior of just segmentation faulting. And yes, I have run memtest, and memtest comes back saying my RAM's all fine. So I mean,
the first thing, like always, when you're dealing with something, you should always assume the software is at fault before assuming anything's wrong with hardware, unless it's blindingly obvious that it's hardware related.
Yeah,
So
that's...
if you start thinking it's hardware first, then you're going to end up like
There we
just
go.
like running
Well,
into
I
issues.
always assume it's software first. I never
Yeah,
assume
always
hardware's
do
at fault first, unless it's blatantly obvious. But I just cannot figure out why, whenever Koi dumps, it just has an empty Koi dump file, and it just says segmentation fault Koi dumped.
But the core dump is empty.
Yeah, it's empty. Wah.
There we go.
Weird.
Fully Linux.
So
And now Envision is failing to build Monado for me with this
Really?
branch. I'm getting some things weird with what I've got,
Yeah.
so I'm going to
Yeah.
not use Solar XR integration.
It's really weird that Monardo just seems to break on me every fucking day, but yet Steam VR has been super reliable.
I mean, like, the main reason I go to Monado instead of Steam VR is asynchronous reprojection. There's a joke on
Oh yeah, no, it's
Steam
total
VR.
it's total ass. But like, if I can get higher than 45 frames, then I don't even notice the async reprojection issue.
Yeah, like, as long as you get half minimum of frames, then the reprojection is fine. But obviously, with Resonate in the state it's in, you really don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. At least not in its current state.
Yeah, like, when buzzing happens and there's a bit of performance boost,
I'm curious if you're
then it's quite
building
very
Monardo often, or is it just the same version crashing? It will go through the compilation stage all the
It's
time,
right there.
and every single time it will just be like core dumped after launching the compiled version.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why.
Makes no sense.
Oh.
Yes. What the fuck is going on with you?
I basically was like, why is my overlay to see my screens not working? But it turns out that my screens are right there, not right there. So of course I have to move in my play space to, move those around. I can literally walk to you now. All the space I have. Wow. We go around like this. It's great. I think I can even go behind that thing if I just avoid going into the machine I have there. I can just like squeeze my way in there. And there we go, I'm behind the wall. Oh, and if I want to return, I can just... There we go. I guess it looks even more silly without seeing the... without me being in full body.
It kind of is.
Where's my second screen?
I've been thinking of getting a third monitor.
More monitors is always good.
Yeah.
As long as you have a powerful enough GPU to drive all of them.
Oh, I have a
do your main game.
7900 XT
Yeah, I'll probably do.
with like 20 gigs of VRAM, so...
Mm-hmm.
Although I am somewhat thinking of maybe getting like a slim Quadro and putting it in my system. A cheap slim Quadro just for when I do Blender renders. I'll just tell like Blender use the Quadro instead of my discrete GPU, because I'm so sick and tired of it just deciding like, oh yeah, no, there's not enough RAM on the GPU. Or it being like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna just lock up the entire goddamn system.
Yippee!
Yeah. So, but I found out that if I still hear sound, so like whenever I do a render, I play music, and for as long as I hear the sound, I know the system is still technically responsive. It's a kitty cat.
Maxwell.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, it's not the one that... This not the one that goes... Do, 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 do.
Ah, give me a sec on that one.
How about one of the cheap, slim Intel cards? I heard they have plenty of good encoder. It's not encoding that I'm talking about. It's literally doing a render. And NVIDIA's the best at it.
Unfortunately. Oh, apparently as well, like recently, like I've just seen one video about it, so I don't know whether, and it was a while back, but Nvidia was making their, I think it
I'm gonna
like,
put Maxwell
was it
over there.
5060 or something like that? Like one of their new sort of like lower end GPUs, and it was coming out soon. The only problem is that they weren't releasing press drivers before launch, and the launch was right when basically all the reviewers would be going to like some big event for like computer hardware and wouldn't be able to make a video immediately, which means there will be no reviews on launch for this card.
That seems kind of stupid.
Yes, it's like, okay, I think of like Jay's 2 cents, basically going, we can't review this. We won't be able to review this until like a week later, at which point it might be too late because the scalpers will already have all of the cards. And it's like that's the problem, isn't it? Like now they're having to, like people having to deal with scalpers stealing all those cards to use in their fucking crypto mining rigs, and they're having to worry about, okay, do I get this card? Is it good enough? And they're having to do that before launch. And now Nvidia's gone, well, you can either get the card and realize it's not right and try and get a refund, or you could wait until the reviews come out and realize too late that they're already too gone.
Yeah, honestly, people should stop buying Nvidia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, please, just stop buying Nvidia. Like, people are always just like, oh, but Nvidia's good and reliable, but it's expensive, way too expensive for the product.
Yeah, and that thing is that they no longer really sort of fucking care about trying to offer affordable GPUs or even like bang for your buck GPUs. Really, they'd much rather sell to the scalpers and sell to the crypto miners than sell to most people.
Well, yeah, that's because it's
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. I agree that.
Also, the one thing that a thing like J2 Cents said was that they're just getting, paraphrasing, butthurt about the fact that all the reviewers are saying don't buy the cards. So Nvidia's going, well, fuck you guys, you're not going to make a review now because we're not going to give you drivers. It's like, dude, they're just wanting drivers so they can accurately tell people to buy the GPUs not. And Nvidia said that it's because they had to try and fix the issues last minute. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't a thing that you pull. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck.
Like, it's scummy as shit, and it's like, the only thing you can reasonably tell people about the card is don't buy it, because one, we don't know the performance of it, two, we won't be able to do it until several weeks after,
That's a lot of Maxwells.
and three, if they're pulling this shit, then almost certainly the card is shit and they're trying to hide it, or the software is shit and they're wanting to hide it.
Yep.
Like, I thought it was AMD on Windows is like supposed to be this sort of like, oh, the drivers are always shit on day one, or day zero drivers are always shit with AMD. Now it's turning into Nvidia's thing.
Oh, god damn it.
I'll say on AMD, on like I have a 7900 XTX. Even the year one drivers weren't great on Windows. Linux, on the other hand, works perfectly.
Well, that's because
I know the because on the why and etc. Don't worry.
yeah, like the Linux community is just like
train.
the Linux community is just like, this is fucking garbage. We're gonna fix it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, everyone can see the code. If we don't like how it is, someone will make it so it works better if you allow us to. Nvidia doesn't.
Yeah, Nvidia's just like, no, fuck you.
Nvidia's like, fuck you, we're gonna put proprietary blobs fucking everywhere.
Yep.
It's like at that point you can't do anything without violating their like terms of service or EULA or whatever the fuck they want to try
Yeah.
calling. And it's like, yeah, you can't do anything. Cool. So if you're gonna pull that shit, we're not gonna buy any fucking cards. Why do you think that most people on Linux run AMD?
Yep.
The only few people that I imagine would run NVIDIA either do it for CUDA or do it because that's the card they have when they switched over.
Yeah.
And I like just on the side, I've had like people say, like try and be like, oh, get like, you need to like just buy an AMD card to install Linux. So it's like, no, you fucking idiots. like if you want people to use Linux, let them use their fucking cards that are already here, rather than tell them they need to go out and buy another several £100 GPU.
Yep.
This ain't the way you do it.
Also, Bitcrack, that's not my dog. That's my sister's dog that she abandoned when she moved to the UK. No one likes the
What?
dog.
She left it there.
What?
She left it there.
Yep. She bought a dog. And then like we've had the dog, like she had the dog, she was living here at the time, and then she found somebody in the UK, dated them, and then married them, and she left both her dogs here.
2 dogs.
Yep. That don't like each other.
Name. And I'm going to kick her fucking ass.
Oh wait, we're in the right country.
I will storm down to London if I must.
I see Jay's beans.
What beans they have shoes?
What the fuck?
Wait, huh? To be fair, NVIDIA upstreamed newer GSP firmware for Nuvo, so they're doing something at least.
So, I'm not going to like pretend it's not a good thing they're doing it, but we shouldn't be congratulating them for doing the bare fucking minimum to make sure that the open source firmware is even the open source software version of their drivers is even possible.
My response to that is, congratulations, NVIDIA. Do you want a fucking cookie?
Like
AMD and
this point-
Intel have been doing this for years.
At this point, all I'm going to do is, okay, here's a bronze star sticker to stick on fucking, what's his name, like Jen? What's it? Like to stick
Jensen.
on his like jacket.
Yeah, Jensen Wan.
Jensen. Like to stick on his fucking leather jacket. And it's like, good job. There's your sticker. There's your fucking reward. You want more of a reward? Fucking help making this more open source, you fucking dicks.
Yeah. They would say, though, like, oh, but keeping it proprietary means that we get to keep our competitive edge, and we need that.
Bullshit.
What competitive edge? You're basically a goddamn monopoly.
Yeah, like, they're virtually a monopoly in GPUs because they basically, like, I think it was, like, physics, I think is it physics? I think recently open sourced.
Yeah, I believe physics. So,
but probably only because they have something better, or the fact is that everyone's using something open source already.
Real quick, I just realized something.
Hmm?
2 of the worst companies are working with each other.
Go on.
NVIDIA and Nintendo.
Oh yeah, of course.
You make a point.
Technically, Nintendo is also working.
I'm just like, now that I think about it, all the consoles pretty much use AMD.
Apparently,
a lot of them.
Apparently, NVIDIA hired a Nouveau developer full-time to work on their open source drivers, so cautiously optimistic. The thing is that NVIDIA's drivers I would not call open source. I would call them source available.
There's a
Because
difference.
It's basically that every time there's a new version of the driver, they will basically make one commit that is the whole changes from the previous version to the newest version, and they will basically push that as one commit when it comes out, rather than, okay, here's all the commits of like each individual change, what it is, like what the commit was doing. Like, no, it's all squashed into one thing and pushed to the open source one. It's like that's not really open source, and they're not accepting really many pull requests as far as I'm aware.
The stream doesn't look like it's dying on my end. Looks like it's fine and stable.
Doesn't look like it to me. I think that just might be your end.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just so fed up with Nvidia doing their stupid crack job hubbubaloo.
Mhm.
I'm tired of Nintendo acting like they're superior to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm tired of Microsoft wanting to force AI down everyone's fucking throat.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, stop.
Like, it wouldn't be so bad if they were good at it.
Yeah, if they were good at it.
Yeah.
And
I think
The-
Jay died.
The main issue
No,
with
Jay's here.
no, I'm here. The main issue with AI is that nobody fucking cares for good reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, like most people don't give a shit about AI. Like the only thing like I see is like good about AI would be things like machine learning, which isn't AI, it's just a way of like doing it. Like
Yeah.
for example, like think
Also, hello, Hammer.
like eye track VR and Project Babel will use like machine learning models to like figure out from a camera view or like IR camera what your mouth is looking like and what movements it's making. Like that, like I don't think anyone has a problem with that. The problem is the generative AI.
Yeah,
And
the generative AI is the biggest problem in my honest opinion. Like, fucking stop. Like, that's all I can think is just like, stop it. We don't want
one
this.
second, I'm going to try and restart into VR.
there are a bunch of places where the generative AI is useful. Put it in only those places, and don't fuck up security everywhere
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, and also here's an idea: whatever data set you trained it on, give like credit to the creators
Yeah.
of like the stuff you used.
Yeah, open data sets. Open data sets would be very nice.
I do love how one person puts it. Oh, so pirating your shit is illegal for us, but you stealing other people's stuff is totally fine.
Yeah, that's how intellectual property law works. It only ever works when a big company is claiming the thing, and when a small person is infringing. That
I think-
is how copyright law has always worked in this country.
I think copyright needs to just straight up die.
Yeah, well, there are cases where copyright or things like copyright are useful. They are much, much, much smaller than any current copyright in America. Like, most of the useful stuff would be more under trademark than copyright, but
Yeah.
it is important.
In my opinion, is good in applications with limited scope machine learning. Yeah. Like, machine learning is fine, but, like, have it be an optional installation or
Yeah.
leave it to that program. I don't want it on my entire fucking OS. Always
you
fucking
should give your
there.
company files to LLM. You can trust it with it. Trust me.
But yeah, no, I'm just so sick and tired of these things. I was talking to one person. They were just like, "Yeah, no, I'm still on Windows 10, and I'm gonna see if Microsoft releases Windows 12 and if that will be better." And I'm just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Oh, I remember when Windows 10 was supposed to be the last version of Windows. Oh, that was fun time.
Yeah. I still love it. The one time I updated Windows 10, ran an update, it reinstalled all of Microsoft's stupid crap that I uninstalled, and also installed Copilot. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you must have accidentally gotten rid of the bloatware.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. That's a misquoted statement. What's a misquoted statement? Also, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. But yeah, no, it's literally installed Copilot onto my computer. I'm like, fuck off with this. It reinstalled Microsoft Edge. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. It's basically...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a number station. I love that orb. And I will misquote Microsoft all I want.
Because they're dicks.
I already do enough stuff around GitHub and my daily work that I can do.
But like, it's so annoying how much it fucking babies you. What the fuck is this?
It's the Zorb.
The Zorb?
Yeah, the Zorb.
Have fun
No,
with
but
the
the
Zorb.
Oh, there's a better way. Just take the Zorb, you open your context menu, you take the Zorb, teleportation to, and then poof.
Okay.
And you give the Zorb to somebody. You just don't know it yet.
But I wish Windows 10 was the last version of Windows. That'd been so nice. Because, in my honest opinion, Windows 10 is the best version of Windows Microsoft has released in the latest cycle. Because Windows 8 was garbage. Same with 8.1. Windows 10 was actually good, and then Windows 11 was ass. Or is ass. Not was, is. Funny enough, it's just like, it's controversial, but I think Windows 7 was kind of meh. I liked, I loved Vista. I actually really liked Vista. Which most people hate.
Vista wasn't that great.
So, it's mostly the fact that I used Vista later on when it was really stable and good. So, now, I really didn't like XP. Like, I just did not like XP at all.
XP was my first version of Windows, I think, and it was fine. Like, it didn't explode catastrophically enough to traumatize me. It just existed.
Didn't XP have it to where all the users were in a folder called like Documents and Settings? I think
Quite possibly, yeah.
I think the users folder came in Windows Vista.
I thought users was in XP, but I don't know.
I don't recall seeing a
Probably
users
was.
folder.
I don't see Windows XP in the lot nowadays. Thankful.
I will say one thing, and that is the whatchamacallits, the compatibility layer in Windows needs to kind of fucking die, let's be honest. The compatibility layer works only like 30-40% of the time. Like, oh wow. This one program from the XP area, we still have a compatibility layer that's supposed to work with it, but doesn't work, and shit still fucking breaks. Like, why, Microsoft? Why keep it around if it barely works? You know? I kind of like the Windows approach the Linux approach where it's just like, yeah, if it's programmed well, it should work. For as long as its dependencies haven't changed all that much and whatnot. But like, if it's broken, it's broken, and you probably shouldn't be using it. You know? Ooh, you have Rezos?
I'm going to find the other
Rezo
bunch of items related to
Plastic Eraser Neko 3. Fun fact, some file names you cannot use because backwards compatible with original versions of Windows like Windows 3.
Yeah, try to rename folder con, C-O-N.
Yeah. Linux doesn't have a stable ABI, which makes portable binaries a pain in the ass. Especially glibc dependencies suck. I'm not saying it's the best, but like at the same time though, it's so fucking annoying opening like how Microsoft will say, "Oh, we still support XP programs." But then I go and play a program, like a game from the XP area, and it doesn't even fucking launch no matter what the fuck I do. Like, how can you claim that you still support XP programs and they still break? You know?
Well, a lot of those programs were just broken in the first place.
You say that, but literally this one XP game still gets updates to this day.
Yeah.
And it's broken. Last time I tried it on Windows.
But, like, I remember hearing lots of things in, the compatibility layer, like, how one version of SimCity or something, used malloc incorrectly, and, would reliably use after free a whole bunch of stuff. And it just happened to work that on the version of Windows it was originally written for, the malloc implementation had a quirk where it wouldn't instantly reuse a buffer, but would instead put it on the back of a queue to be reused later. And so it happened to not crash. But then when a more performant malloc implementation was added as the default, it started instantly crashing with a segfault.
No,
And
wonderful.
so they needed to add some code into the core OS to check if the executable name equals this one specific version of the game, and then change the behavior of malloc, because the game was doing illegal things that should never have been allowed to work in the first place.
Yeah. But it's so funny how it's just, hey, the Malik has a goofy issue with it. That's just, let's assume that behavior is gonna stay. Like, no, don't assume it's gonna stay.
What is this jump scare ball?
I don't know.
Oh, it's the Zorb.
Blame Jay.
I'm always.
Also, can you believe it took Microsoft so long to remove SecuROM?
I believe it would take Microsoft a long time to do anything. Having having known many people who worked at Microsoft and been there briefly myself, I can entirely believe that it would take Microsoft way too long to do anything.
Yeah, I just love how it's just like they dropped SecuROM in an update for Windows 10. And I'm like, really? It took you guys till Windows 10 to drop that piece of malware? Like, what the fuck? So, also, I love the fact how... So, people will say, oh, Windows has that user space, kernel space separation. But I would say it's not good enough.
Does it really, since Windows has HTTP server as a kernel component?
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Like this is why I like how Linus Torvalds just like, fuck you. It, like, kernel space is kernel only. Kernel and drivers. Everything else goes in user space.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Linux is perfect 100% of the way. It just has a lot of stuff that makes way more goddamn sense than Windows. Like,
And as far as I know, no one has written an HTTP server in the kernel because it was too slow to use the ordinary file handles. In Linux, they just made the ordinary sockets actually work correctly and fast. Well, somewhat. They have horrifically fucked that up lately, but yeah.
yeah.
And there are several design mistakes, but, well, it's easy to judge them now that we know better. No one knew better when some of these design mistakes were first made.
Hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
So, but like,
There are a lot of things that could be done better now, and that aren't. But yeah, we need a new kernel to get rid of those lingering architectural design mistakes in Linux that we now know are mistakes.
they recently removed echo cancellation code in the kernel. What do you mean by echo cancellation code? I don't think I heard of that.
So there's echo cancellation code in the kernel. I'm sorry, but what the fuck?
I mean, I guess I guess if it's part of the audio driver, Linux.
Why is that? Why is that
Linux
in?
doesn't, because Linux made
I
a
forgot-
design mistake.
God damn
back
it.
Before we knew it was a design mistake, and so now, if the audio driver needs to have some audio processing to do echo cancellation and noise suppression, then it needs to be done in the kernel because Linux didn't have the design that lets it not do that.
Hold on. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that. I think that's what I want. There we go. I still need to remove the whole timing people out when they post a link in my chat. But let's see. Queued up for removal in the upcoming Linux 6.16 kernel cycle is dropping Echo, a software-based echo cancellation. Oh, I see what you're saying. Echo cancellation, like the code to stop like the sound of echoes.
Yeah.
Like if a mic is right next to a headphone,
Yeah.
and then it's listening to the microphone.
Yeah.
Because obviously that is not something that should happen. But I'd argue that you shouldn't be doing that in the kernel.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
it shouldn't have been done in the kernel. It should have been done
I
elsewhere.
agree that it shouldn't be done in the kernel, but I would argue that Linux has made it so that it is exceedingly difficult to do it in other places, given previous design decisions. And in order to... So, now that people have gone through the effort of building Pipewire and replacing the entire audio stack, some of that stuff can be moved out of the kernel, but many of the problems persist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, ALSA is the kernel's audio stuff. That's the lowest you can get. You can't go any lower than that, other than literally, here's some wires.
And ALSA did
Yeah,
in fact
it's still
need
it's still
some
built
of the
on
audio
ALSA.
processing primitives. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still built on ALSA, but obviously, ALSA should be the bare minimum. It should not be assuming things. If you're using bare ALSA, which some people do, first of all, stop. And second of all, be prepared to do echo cancellation yourself, because you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But Direct Audio was Windows.
Direct Audio is technically Direct Audio is a Windows thing because it's part of the DirectX family.
Yeah, if
So-
Wine can say, oh, you could use Direct Audio or Pipewire or Pulse, there technically is Direct Audio, but it'll almost certainly be translating to your local audio system.
Yeah.
When Wine
I sure
says
do love naming.
when Wine says Direct Audio, it's to my knowledge using ALSA. It'll use ALSA for Direct Audio. So I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah. Don't you love how DirectX has nothing to do with X, and X input has nothing to do with X input?
I mean, the only reason it's called X is because of the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason.
Yep, because they love to name things after a product they're selling, so it's DirectX is our new video stuff for the Xbox. And we'll put it onto Windows because, yeah.
And the DirectX 11 has nothing to do with X11.
Yeah. OSS, I have not really looked much into that.
Mm.
So, I don't know. To me, it's just...
I imagine that, like, it will be going through the kernel, which means it'll be going through ALSA. Like, ALSA is the endpoint. Like, if you're not doing ALSA, then you're doing something weird. Because you're not using the kernel to dictate, like, audio devices. You're basically managing it completely yourself. Which is weird. OSS was before ALSA. Also, ALSA is what replaced OSS. Because I'm guessing that probably OSS was, like, basically what everyone used before ALSA was a thing. Because it wasn't done in the kernel beforehand.
ALSA does have the word advanced in it, so presumably there was something that wasn't advanced it replaced.
But yeah, like, OSS was basically people doing it because the kernel didn't. When the kernel started doing audio, then people stopped using it because use what the kernel uses, so you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, we're not saying that PipeEye Pulse Audio go directly to devices. We're saying about OSS, a probably precursor to ALSA.
Yeah.
Like PipeEye Pulse Audio and even Jack will go to ALSA because, yeah, that's how it works. You delegate the lower level things to something else, and then use the higher level things it produces to do your audio. POSIX compliant. I'm using a few BSDs. Yeah, but who's really using BSD except for probably Sony and Nintendo?
That's pretty... Well, Sony,
I know some people
Nintendo...
who run BSDs.
Technically, Apple... Because technically Apple is a fork... Because macOS is technically a fork of BSD.
Is it BSD fork, or is it, like... Because I know that Apple is, like, basically one of the only things that can claim to be a Unix operating system, not a Unix-like.
Why do you think it's... Why do you think it has that Unix claim to it? It's a fork of BSD.
But it...
They forked BSD before Berkeley had to basically write their own code. Before they had to start replacing all the Unix code. So Mac OS got the Unix code.
Because obviously BSD is very different to like what BSDs we have now, because they'll be basically made to follow like what BSD did rather than what Linux did or what Mac did. Like they want to stick or remain it, but they can't include code because it's copyrighted. Apple probably has somewhere like a license where it's like, yeah, you're okay to still use this code because it's all fine, or they got the Unix like approval before they sort of stopped giving it out or stopped being strict about it.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's just like Pipewire and not Pipewire, BSD and Mac OS and Linux, like they're all Unix-like, but
they can't claim to be Unix.
Like Mac OS is the one that can claim to be Unix because it has some of that Unix code.
It's got some Unix code and it's got the okay to say that it is Unix.
Yeah. Now, and BSD gets inherited to be called Unix too. It gets the Unix inheritance, even though, you know, they had to. There was a fight between AT&T and Berkeley about that, and AT&T told Berkeley to remove the Unix code, and it was a mess. And once Unix became a standard, BSD basically got the Unix card basically for free for that, which leaves Linux, which never really got the Unix card because Linux
I mean,
did
it
its
never
own
really
thing.
tried to be. It never really tried to be. It tried to be
It tried to be
Unix-like. It tried to be Unix-like,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Unix, and it never wanted
Yeah.
to be or claimed to be.
Yeah, macOS is Unix certified. But technically,
Isn't Windows too?
no.
Windows has the whole POSIX
No.
compliance layer that's actually certified.
POSIX,
Yes,
POSIX
POSIX,
compliance does
yes.
not equal Unix.
Yeah.
Yeah, POSIX
POSIX
is
is
not
not
Unix.
Yeah.
Also, its file system, I'm pretty sure, is not POSIX.
No,
Yeah.
NTFS is POSIX.
Okay, why can't you create a file called con?
That's
You-
because of DOS, which is not.
So,
that
okay.
behavior isn't replicated in the POSIX layer.
So here, yeah. So on Linux,
So the POSIX
you-
layer says, yes, that's fine. The kernel then goes, no, you can't.
so you can create a file called com if you use WSL. So like, if you use WSL, you can tell it to make a file called com, and it will make a file called com on the NTFS drive.
Con, not com. Right? Because it's the console output.
COM.
No, M is
Oh.
fine, com is fine, CON
Con.
for
Yeah,
November.
yeah, no, it is con. Sorry, my bad. You could
Yeah.
make a file called like con, call it
The problem is, like, while you can
Or
do
any
that,
of
and while
those
the
other
file
files.
system can probably take it, like,
the issue.
nothing else will be able to read it, and then there will probably be problems later on if you do.
Yeah, so the file system.
And also, that's WSL, not
The-
Windows itself.
The only reason I say you can do it in WSL is because pretty much every other program that you're running on Windows will use the Windows API, but WSL is running while the Linux
It's a
kernel.
virtual machine.
It's a virtual machine running the Linux kernel, so it's not directly interfacing with the Windows APIs. But
Yeah, like it's using
It's not
Linux
quite a
stuff.
virtual machine running the Linux
but
kernel.
with that being
but it's
said,
close enough we can treat it like that for the layman.
okay, so two things. One, WSL1 was not a virtual machine at all. It was direct Linux to Windows calls. Now with WSL2, it is a virtual machine, and that's why you have to install Hyper-V. If you install, if you want to use WSL. It's fucking stupid.
Yes.
But yeah, so WSL2 is a VM, and WSL1 is not.
Mm-hmm.
and also-
WSL1 is closer to how Wine operates
yeah,
than how a virtual machine works.
yeah, and also fun fact with WSL1, you can actually directly access the files of WSL, but with WSL2, since it's a VM, there's a VMHX file instead of the files being raw on the drive. So they're in a
Yeah.
so it's
I imagine that that's probably how they allow you to create a file called con, whereas everything else will have to try and do it through the Windows API,
well,
but then nothing else will be able to use it except WSL.
Well, like I said, you can like tell WSL2 to go to your C drive and create a file called con, and it will make that file, and you can use that file however you want. But like if you try and use a Windows program, however, it will not, like Windows will not let it use that file because it thinks it's a DOS file.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, at this point, like, that's the whole point of, like, NT kernel is that, you know, it's no longer DOS at its core.
Yeah,
Like,
it can't even
that's the
run
whole
DOS
point of that.
programs.
And it's like, oh, we gotta keep this in for backwards compatibility in case things might break. No. Just break that backwards compatibility, because nothing is calling itself Con anymore.
Like, it's so stupid, because, like...
Yeah.
If anything is still trying to connect to Con or Print or something, whatever it is, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, there are other ways of doing what you want to do that are newer and more supported than Con. Stop it, get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a psychiatrist.
But you have to be able to run code that was written 80 years ago without changing it. You can't rely on anyone having the source anymore.
So here's the thing, is like when somebody tells me, oh, but this hospital relies on this ancient piece of technology that's like critical and core to their business, I'm like,
They should
well,
have a VM.
If it's so core and critical, maybe they should have a support team that's trying to keep it up to date.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, if you're using old software for something that needs to be basically secure and, like, all the rest of it and up to date...
It needs to be in a VM.
It needs to be up to date. It's like, if the software is so fucking ancient that you need to run it on the, like old Windows, or, like, rely on Windows not using the right things. Like, if software requires that Con not be able to be written to, or uses that internally, and, like, things are weird, then fucking update the software. Like, get some, like, if you, like, bought it off another company, then tell that company, hey, if they're still in business, which they might not be, tell them to update it. If not, get a new piece of software made. Yes, it'll be expensive, but hey, if you get them to make it, if you get someone to make it for you, or you make it internally, you can make it do whatever the fuck you want, which means you can expand it, you can make it better. Why the fuck wouldn't you want that to be the case?
Yeah, like, I've read where, like, DOS is still used in some hospitals, and I'm just like, fucking why?
Like, Windows XP was used in, I've said this before, is used in the NHS, and it's like, that caused them immense grief when malware got into the system, because I don't think it was, like, even reading, like, the service packs, which, like, prevented some initial malware for XP. Like, service packs was basically meant to be, like, sort of stopping that kind of shit. And, you know, it's like, they didn't update to the service, or maybe they updated to service packs, I don't know, but they didn't update past XP. It's like, why?
Who knows? But, like, it's
Just...
like this. I know the whole if it ain't broke don't fix type thing, but, like, at the same time, you just
Okay, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it only applies, like, if it's not a business. And if it is a business, you have to have support for it. If you have no support and you're just using old software, then when that shit breaks, you're going to need someone on staff who knows how it works internally. And almost certainly with most of these bits of software, you don't have the code. All you have is a binary. And that's it. And it's like, at that point, why are you still using that piece of software? Either get the code, or make it new, so you can start, like, rolling it out. Because the longer it's on that old software, the more likely something is going to fuck up.
Yep. So, this is why, like, some people will bitch, like, oh, the Linux binary is unstable, but it's just, like, part of the niceness about how Linux will break some of the APIs is nice, because then it's like you're forced to either keep it updated, or, like, here's another nice thing about the Linux kernel. There's containers. You can spin up a container of an old version of the Linux kernel and run it in there. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
I'm pretty sure the way most containers work, they will keep the kernel of the host, and use that, and it'll just be like different package manager, be different environment, and that's the only thing they change. Could be wrong with that. Don't quote me on it. But,
Are you saying? What are you saying? Yep to, like, me or Grand?
probably you.
Probably.
But, like with the Linux kernel, like there's like sort of a golden rule that they sort of follow, which is don't break user space.
They
Like-
yeah.
Like that's the basically one thing. Like the ABI might not be stable, but the API, you don't break that. You
Yeah,
break
they-
that, ain't good.
Yeah, they trying their best to keep the API from not breaking. They try and make sure they don't
Yeah.
break user space and kernel space.
Because the last thing they need is for user space to break because of a kernel update, because then that's going to like just cascade out of control because the user
Yeah.
updated their kernel.
Yeah,
They
the-
don't want that.
The first priority is make sure kernel space stays secure. Second priority is make sure user space doesn't break. Third priority is to make sure that the entire system is stable. And then after that, it's everything else. They're kind of like, let's keep kernel space isolated from user space. Let's keep those two things as isolated as possible. Let's make sure both of them are stable, and then we can focus on anything else. So, but like, it's one of those things of why I'm like, if the Linux kernel breaks some ABI, well, guess what? You are either going to be forced to update that software, which you probably should be updating it, or if you really don't want to update it, throw it in a fucking container and run that container with an older version of the kernel. Because the nice thing about the Linux kernel, it can literally run as a program. Like, that's how flexible the Linux kernel is. It can run as its own independent thing.
Yeah.
So, like...
I mean, that's the main thing, like the ABI not being stable means you have to make sure that it's up to date, or you have to find a way to fix it.
Yeah.
And it's either fix, or containerize, or get something new. And usually, like, keeping up to date is a good idea. But obviously, getting something new is sometimes the only option you have.
And the other thing about containerizing it too is that containers are a good security measure. They're not the best, but like everything in security, just minimizing the attack surface is great. So if you can if you can box a program in and make it think it's the only thing running on the computer, like that's way better. So. The problem is, at least with glibc, you can't write portable software that works on different distros. That is the annoying
That's entirely
part.
true.
Yeah, that is true for the most part. Now,
I mean,
well, I can at least say in the .NET world is that you can write mostly portable .NET.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, oh, but you need to have .NET installed on the target machine. No, like you can make a self-contained .NET program, and like from what my testing is, 9 times out of 10, it will just run even if it's using
you can also just
the
make
newest
a fully
glibc
statically
or
linked
the
C program.
old. Yeah, that's probably what they're doing is they're statically linking the glibc and all that in the .NET thing.
yeah,
But
because
that
dynamic
doesn't quite work,
linking is
because there are distros that demand you link glibc, or they will not let you load another shared object ever. And there are systems there are distros that provide a different system. Yeah, do not statically link glibc. You'd use Muzzle for that.
Like, I would need to dive into what .NET's doing, but from what I can tell, like, part of me is like, are they statically linking glibc when you do the framework independent? But I don't. Like, part of me is like, it feels.
with the way that they're reacting, like, do not ever do it. it wouldn't surprise me that Microsoft do it anyways, just because fuck you.
Yeah, but one reason I don't think they are is because I have noticed that it will that when I run some of my .NET programs and I decide to look into the open files it has, I'll see some of the open files being like /usr/lib/glibc. So even though I've told, like, and this is like one where I told it to be a self-contained program, and yet it will still use that, like the system's glibc.
What I think that might be doing is it might be trying to dynamically look for glibc, because obviously, like, it might be trying, rather than like telling it, this is where you find glibc, it'll be like, glibc is here somewhere, go find it.
Well,
So, and as long as it's a version that works with it, then it's fine.
Yeah, so maybe it also packages, like it carries its own glibc, and if it can't find a glibc that works for it, but I also doubt that because I've had it to where, like where the self-contained package wouldn't launch because of a missing dependency, and it wouldn't launch even though it was like one of the self-contained ones. So I don't know how it fully works, but I've noticed that 9 times out of 10, if I just say .NET self-contained, build it, it will work on pretty much any Linux system 9 times out of 10. Now there are some exceptions, like with
could check dynamic libraries with LD.
Yeah.
But I know that there are ways to like try and load a library dynamically.
Yeah.
And it could be trying to do that where it's like, hey, in here somewhere is glibc, here's some things it might be called, go find it.
So many distros make using glibc mandatory for doing any dynamic linking at all. Rather than having a facility specifically for just the dynamic linking, they just say the only way to access dynamic linking is to ask glibc for it. And so even if you do statically link your own libc, you still have to load glibc to call just that one function.
I do know one thing is for sure is that the only time where I've had issues with the self-compilation wasn't even a dependency issue is with Muzzle. The MUSL, I think it is.
Yeah.
Muscle.
Yeah, Muscle.
Okay, because that is a slightly different thing to glibc, I think.
Yeah, it's
a libc. It's a re-implementation of a libc. It has slightly different behaviors in some cases, but it is still standards compliant.
Music, yes.
Like is it? I think they're meaning muscle. Muscle. I'm guessing that they're on
like
phone
music
or something.
Yeah, it looks like music. But yeah. So, but of course, .NET has a solution for that. You have to specifically compile for Muscle.
Then that's what it'll be. That it'll be using in Muscle instead of glibc, so therefore it doesn't run into the same issue. A lot of things do when glibc updates so often. Like Muscle will be doing something completely differently, and that you can go into Muscle C, it'll find a way into the system somehow, and it'll figure it out. If it is like built against glibc, then you probably have the same issues as before, where if you're on the wrong thing, then maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Doesn't like Alpine Linux use Muscle?
Possibly, because glibc will be GNU, won't it?
Yeah.
If it's GNU, then it won't be an Alpine.
Muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it does.
I don't fully know what the whole point of Alpine Linux is.
Small Linux distro, pretty good for containers. Alpine uses BusyBox apparently.
Yeah. I know what BusyBox
for
is.
utils. Does BusyBox have libc? I
This-
assume
No.
it will.
No.
Oh.
It uses muscle as its libc.
So that's
So,
why. Very
um,
small.
Bugs can also be built
Then
against
why is that in
glibc, but
quotes?
Yeah. The one thing I
that's
know
asterisks.
is that BusyBox is one application instead of like Core
Yeah.
Utils, which is a whole bunch of different programs. BusyBox is just one program, and it changes its behavior on what command you specified.
Oh, so it'll be like busy box, whatever.
So that is one way to use it. You can do like BusyBox ls. However, it also supports checking argument 0, what the executable was referred to as. So you
Yeah.
can make a symlink from LD to BusyBox, and then or a symlink for ls to BusyBox, and then when you invoke ls, BusyBox will see that it was named ls when this executable was loaded, and act as ls.
Yeah.
So it'll be basically a bunch of pointers as to a to use the name of the pointer.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's the thing I should be doing. Cool. Which explains why on things like my router software, I can just do ls and it works
Yeah.
just
Yep.
fine.
That's also like Android also uses BusyBox. So
Yeah, because it doesn't want to use the full fat GNU utils.
yeah.
I think also there's a new, there's a Rust version of that's trying to get parity with GNU's core utils now.
Yeah, I think that's called like I think it's just
utils.
called yeah, it's
I think.
utils, I think. And then there's
Yeah.
a Rust implementation called like sudo rs, which honestly, as much as I hate how Rust is getting into everything, with sudo it fucking makes sense. Because
Yeah,
look
like
how
the,
many
the one thing you.
fucking there's so many pseudo bugs with privilege escalations where Rust would
Yeah.
actually prevent it.
Well, okay, so Rust will be specifically for things like its memory safety will prevent weird memory vulnerabilities.
Well, like the
Uh,
one thing Rust helps against is like the out of bounds stuff. Like you aren't allowed
That's
to go.
not the one thing.
Like
Rust also helps use after free, or
Yeah,
prevents
that's
use
why I was
after
going
free,
with memory.
and
Yeah. So, but like I think it's like one person said like over 80% of the pseudo bugs is stuff like free after use, out of
Yeah.
bounds, and that type of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
which
and
Rust would fix.
yeah, like Rust, like one of Rust's main things is to basically, like at compile time, it like make sure like use after trees won't be there. That various classes, entire classes of memory vulnerabilities, just cannot exist in the source code.
Yeah, and on top
Then
of
it
that,
compiles all that away.
And on top of that, I think sudo just does way too fucking much. Like, have you ever seen how many arguments there are for sudo? Like, there's so much. And I think it's just like, it should just be simplified to just to what its name is, super user do. Just escalate a program to run as super user.
Let's have a see here. AskPass background bell close from change directory, preserve env, edit group, set home, help, host, login, remove timestamp, reset timestamp list, non-interactive, preserve groups, prompt, chroot, standard in, shell,
Run
command
zero?
timeout.
I don't think
What?
I've heard of run zero.
Run Zero,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
Run
is
Zero.
a GNU. I think that's a GNU thing where they're like, what? No, not GNU. System D. System D Run Zero, which is their version of sudo, and of course it got everyone being like, "Oh, System D's trying to get into everything again." God damn it!
well, they're right to do it.
I mean, like as an init system, System D, like as a project, as a whole project,
Yeah.
does way too much for an init
So-
system. But for what
Yep.
System D is, as a generally like trying to provide a lot of user space stuff like services, like all
So-
this kind of things.
So
it
I
can
disagree that it does
be
too
good.
much for an init system. I think the service management, the understanding the policy for when to restart a crashed service, is so vital to an init system.
Right.
So I
Uh,
will say this is that when I looked into System D, I found out that it is actually very much compartmentalized.
Compartmentalized.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that would. It's very much that, and like you can just have a bare System D init, but you can also attach other add-ons onto
Yeah.
System D,
What
and
Yeah.
what
that
it
is
will-
really
what I-
genius in my opinion.
what I
The
think
criticism is that they didn't do a good job documenting the add-on stuff, and so effectively, for some of the add-ons, there is no alternative to using the System D first-party one, and so if you want a System D system, you have to use all of that other stuff from System D, or you don't get it.
I think the main thing that people like sort of gets people annoyed is like, oh yeah, could you use like System D in it, and like it provides like some basic things, but then so many things will depend on higher level System D dependencies. Like some of it's like extra bits. Like System D is a big project. System D init is one part of it, but then the dependencies start getting big and big and big until you have a very big System D installation. It's like there's so much here that could go wrong. And it's all one project. Like there's sub-projects under it, but then like you don't really care about that. It's System D.
So that's interesting. Like I don't know. For me, it's just like I get that concern, but at the same time, like System D, in my experience, has been very reliable and very
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
reliable,
don't get me
stable,
wrong.
quick. Like
Yeah, like
It's very good.
Don't get me wrong. Like it's still like System D compared to what before it was like init scripts and doing that. Like it is like miles ahead of that. Like I think OpenRT now, which is what Gentoo uses by default. Like I think that's I don't know exactly what that is. Whether that's a bunch of scripts or whether it's
And
like something
I know-
more akin to System D.
I
But
believe
just
there's
not
also
System
like
D.
initv.
Yeah, that's another one, but
Yeah.
these like so I go more towards like the more classical way of doing
Yeah, which I'm just like
init
no.
systems. It's still a bunch of scripts. Okay, so the like OpenRC and initv will be basically a bunch of scripts that do this, rather than like how Systemd does it, where it's like more
You create a service
almost
file.
monolithic.
It's very
It's not
monolithic.
monolithic.
It-
I said almost.
It's monolithic in the way it does services, but like it's just like a program, and then you specify a service file, and then like if you tell it to start that like if the program is supposed to start at boot, like you specify that in the service file, and then it comes along, sees Systemd sees that it's supposed to be starting when the system boots up, and then it runs that program with the arguments and all the data you put in that service file. So it's monolithic in that sense, but it's not like it's doing every single service under the sun.
Yeah.
It's not any more monolithic than the big bundle of scripts init approach, because
Yeah.
that would, because when you're making the big bundle of scripts, you would also just write all of the stuff you want the script to do with restart policy and such in the script, and you have the same monolith of load all of the scripts at once. The difference is in Systemd, they have factored out the common things that every service wants to do. Log things somewhere you can find them, be able to restart when something errors, and actually order things to start correctly. They have refactored that, pulled out the common components into a single place, and then made a legible, searchable machine parsable and easy for humans to read way to specify all of that instead of every script inventing its own format.
Real quick, isn't
I know-
the systemctl command, if I'm correct, is part of systemd, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because this
But
is the
we had one
the,
of those in bundle of scripts in it
the
stuff too.
Like OpenRC will have that, and so will all the others that
There's-
will offer services.
There's one cool thing I didn't learn, like a few years ago about systemctl. You can say systemctl like the systemctl reboot now, but you can also append the -- firmware - setup, and it will reboot the system into firmware setup.
Yeah, that's a thing you can.
What do you mean?
Every init system has the ability to say switch to this target, accomplish this init task.
Well, like, yeah, but like, I'm talking like, also know how there's like the shutdown command, right? Like, you can't reboot into the firmware setup through that shutdown command, but you can do it through the systemd reboot. And it's just like, that's a cool thing of systemd.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's nice.
it's basically like what that will be. I think like instructing like the EFI saying, "Hey, just this time, boot to this," and you're basically like telling EFI, like probably EFI vars or something like that, saying, "Hey, go to the firmware next."
Yeah,
on next boot. But when you do shutdown, then it's like
it's the
it's like a
generic way.
different situation.
Yeah, it's the generic
only
way.
issue with systemd is the more software reliant systemd service and dependencies like times instead of cron or journal D instead of syslog makes it much harder to run alternative init systems. And that's what I was going to say. Like, for example, like maybe a Minecraft server will then be very like most like ways of doing a Minecraft server will depend as a service will depend on systemd, which then like, well, you can just run it as a binary, but then you have to run write your own scripts to have to go after that instead. But to a point, like that's like systemd is like everyone. It's a sort of somewhat standard that everyone's like, oh yeah, here's how it is. Like someone would have to write that Minecraft server service to make into a package for something to use, or to make into an application.
Yeah.
It's not an official standard, but it's basically a standard that it's there, everyone's using it, so why don't you?
It's
Not akin to POSIX, yeah. Like I say, standard as a very, very loose term.
so what you're probably meaning is de facto standard, where it's not technically a standard, but everybody treats it as it is.
Yeah, it's a de facto thing where everyone's treating it like it is, but it isn't.
It is much nicer to be able to just pull a systemd service definition than needing to look up 3 different people's versions of the Minecraft server launching script and figuring out which parts of each of them I actually want for my setup.
There was one time I was looking at an init script that wasn't set up for systemd, and I was looking at it and I'm like, why is there 5 fucking scripts for this one service?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is there 5 scripts for this thing?
Like, I imagine they'll have some kind of reasoning, like it needs to be like that way for however it is. Like, if it's not using anything else, then it might be doing something like screen. Like, for example, my headless, I run in a screen, so the different commands I have will be basically interfacing into screen and saying to screen a command to run, like in the headless context.
Well, so I'm doing that for my Resonite headless too. It's like my Resonite headless runs in uses screen for all the outputting and whatnot. Because of all that.
It's good for me because it means that I don't cut myself off completely from it. I could still, in theory, like write things like I could quickly connect to it in SSH, or like switch to a different thing in SSH into it and connect to the screen and do all sorts. And like I found, I can also like send commands in, which is how my shutdown command for my headless works. Is that it just like, oh yeah, like stop the headless, and it just sends in shutdown as just text into the screen as input, and presses enter, which just is in the headless console is just, oh yeah, type shutdown and it stops the headless. That's all it does. But it might be things like that where it's like different services will need to interact with different things like that, and it becomes complicated when you don't have something like that.
Yeah. So, it's certainly a I just lost my thought. God damn it!
How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
Windows stable ABIs.
Yeah.
glibc is unstable. Linking.
Mhm.
Init
Yeah.
systems.
Mm-hmm. And here.
Well, no, it was that linking and then talking about containers,
Yeah.
and then it went to here.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about containers for a little bit and how I think you were uncertain if you could run different Linux kernels in containers, which you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was basically just you always use the host kernel and you can't run any under it. Because I know that there is, like in containers, that, like, the init, like when you go into containers, sometimes some commands will just not work because the init, like it's not like system, like for example systemd, if it doesn't run as an it and as an it will not do certain commands.
well, the main thing I know though is that
Containers use the host kernel and root C groups and namespaces for isolation,
I could have.
which is what I
can-
believed.
You can write code that intercepts system calls, and you can set it up so that you run one program that expects a different version of the kernel, and then every system call it makes goes through another program you're running to be translated into the system calls that the new kernel expects, or that the other kernel expects.
Yeah, that's
But
basically
doing that
what
kind
I
of
mean by.
intercepting is weird.
Yeah, it is weird. There are
and
better ways to do
sometimes,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And like because obviously at that point, like you're intercepting it, and if the functionality that you're expecting in the new kernel isn't on the old kernel, then you have to essentially implement it somehow in that sort of translation layer,
Well, that's-
which isn't good or sometimes
There's
even
no way
possible.
around that, where if
And
the
similarly
functionality
for
isn't present, you need to
deprecated or
implement it.
And
The
also
stuff-
deprecate or remove stuff.
Yeah. It's the process of doing the interception that is, that there are better ways to do.
Mm.
so, like it's very messy with how things are.
Yeah.
So
We could have so much better
I
operating
fucking
systems and
love
so much
seeing
better
that.
kernels.
I fucking love
that's
seeing
funny.
that. Yeah, I love seeing it because that is Siribot doing that.
Yeah, so what you guys can't see is that someone just got banned by Seribot for some reason.
Because they're spam.
Oh, it's spam, cool. So
Yeah.
Seribot banned them before they could even get a message out.
Have you ever seen it to where, like, on Twitch, like, all of a sudden a message would be like, cheap viewers on blah blah blah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
a
that's
couple
what
times
Zeribot
around.
was designed for, is to ban those accounts. So the message gets
I
sent
should
to
get
Zeribot.
Seribot.
Yeah, the message gets sent to Zeribot before it gets into chat. Zeribot is quick enough to respond to it and immediately bans them and stops message from propagating further.
Yeah.
It's
Good bot.
really nice.
Good bot.
Yeah. So, but
That's the kind of robots we need. We don't need ChatGPT.
yeah. So, but also if the message does somehow get past Zeribot, I also have in my automods pretty much all the variation. Oh my god, hiccup! All the variations of the scam message in the blacklist. So
Yeah.
But yeah, and the main thing with that is like it's well, you can't stop everything. They will find a way around it by using symbols or things like that, or by using different words or like random chants for different words or things like that. They will find a way around it. Like trying to stop them is a cat and mouse game.
So also, I believe Zeribot uses a basically if it's detected on one channel and like Zeribot misses it and the streamer submits it, then it gets put into Zeribot's ban list, and it can also look up the username that way, sees it's in the Zeribot's ban list, and then ban it on your channel.
So similar to sort of like a global ban list for people that use Seribot.
Yeah, but I think Zeribot will only do that when the scam bot gets into your chat, because you technically do have limited stuff. So
yeah, the main thing that with that is that that's just asking sometimes for people to just steal accounts, do that, and then oh no, you've now been banned by Seribot on like 80% of channels. It's like, yeah, that's not great sometimes when something like that happens, which can be awkward. Which is why I don't like a global sort of ban list.
As I tell people, though, it's just like, this is why, one, you need to always make sure your accounts are locked down, and two, nothing is ever going to be fucking perfect.
I had a fun situation recently. So my family uses Netflix, and yeah, as long as it's a wait to but my family uses Netflix, and like recently there was some difficulties logging in, whatever. Today there was more difficulty. Like I think it was Thursday, Friday. There was some difficulties logging in, and there was a message: an account with that email address does not exist. I'm like, okay, either they've deleted or something weird's going on. So we sort of start going through things, and it's like, okay, like I'll look on the website first, see what's going on there, and it's like, oh, if it comes up with this message, try and see if try this web page to be like, okay, get like send an account recovery email or whatever. So I put in the details, which is name of the account. I had to do it twice because it wasn't down as the full name, it's down as a shortened name on this account. But I put it in, put the card number in to get it, and it's like, okay, we've sent an email to a weird email address, like I think it's like toyflix.top or something, I don't know. But I'm like, that ain't an email address of anyone in my family. I'm calling them up now. So I call them up and eventually get back control of the account. And the first thing I'm like, okay, I'm going to check with like various people in the house, see, okay, who could possibly leave the password? It'd basically be one or two people, which would either be my mum or my sister. And I've had it before where I've run what I thought to be a Unity game. It's not. All it did was steal my passwords out of Chrome. So I've been through this shit before. And I think the only time I realised that was that, oh no. Well, firstly, they hacked my Facebook when I sort of cared and like somewhat cared about when my family used it to talk, and they were sending racist shit to my family, and my family was like, okay, something's not right here, I'm going to tell them. I'm like, okay, that's not me. I'm going to shut down the account, whatever. The other thing was, I had a VNC server on my computer, and they got access to that. So they started trying to start TF2. Luckily, I was in the room when I saw it. I basically pulled the plug. So I was lucky with that. Yeah, like, make sure your accounts are locked down. If you can do two-factor, do two-factor, because a lot of time that will be the self-saving grace.
Don't do
And
SMS
also-
two-factor.
Yeah,
And
that as well.
also, a random game should not run with all of your user accounts' permissions. That should
no,
not be a
it-
thing.
it would-
OSs should not do this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was basically just like a normal game, like... And also,
Yeah.
you know what makes it worse about that sort of game I tried running? I think like there was like some Unity error or some like error with it running. I told the person, like I think it was like a friend of a school friend at the time, and they fixed it, sending me another one, and I'm a dumbass who ran it again. So not only did I have basically malware, I had broken malware, and I sent it back to him for it to fix, and then ran it again. But yeah, like if you can have two-factor,
assume-
have two-factor.
Is everyone familiar with the joke about Linux malware?
No.
Probably.
Download malware, attempt to run make install, the build fails, to the make file, spend an hour digging through the source code, fail to make it build, grep for a Bitcoin address, and send the malware author a pity dollar.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because building, like, that type of shit on Linux can be such a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
I should know, because my computer has tried to build ungoogled Chromium like 10 times, and it would fail. Like, it only built it successfully once. And so I've just been using that one successful build every time I, like, work on my website.
Fun.
Yeah, because for some reason, Writer says, oh, .NET Wasm doesn't work in Firefox, even though it does.
Fun.
Why would you build a browser? Because I don't want to install Google Chrome, I don't want to install Brave, I don't want to install Chromium, I don't want to install Opera GX. So the only other option...
on Linux.
And it's just like, oh, well, just use the Flatpak version. I can't. Writer just does not like Flatpak.
Reject
Flatpak
browsers.
versions.
Don't use HTML. Go back to using FTP to download text documents.
Fucking use links. Use links as your browser of choice. If you're talking about malware, it just reminds me of like a short assault from like Pirate Software. It's like, oh yeah, like people all like sending him stuff for game jams, and he's like, yeah, so I run all the games on like isolated air-gapped PC that I don't care about, and like he gets so many malware packages, and it's like, he's an offensive security person. What the fuck are you doing? And he basically just said in a short like, oh yeah, I've passed your command and control servers off to some buddies of mine. You better shut them down. Yeah, but yeah. Where'd the open skies go?
I don't know, but I just remembered a video. Which I'm just gonna spawn it out this way, because I fucking hate that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this is a bit of a funny thing. I'm gonna move the camera over here. Which, hey, you guys get to see yourself.
Hey, chat, you see yourself?
Yeah.
You're live. Don't say something racist.
But yeah. What is Open Skies?
Don't know. Just what I said just reminds me of a joke in Doctor Who.
Yeah, no, I just love how they just disappeared.
Yeah, I like I just what I said just reminds me of a joke, like a line from Doctor Who, where it's like, "You're on channel 4 million. Please do not swear." Doctor just goes, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me."
Yeah, what the
What the fuck? One second, let me go into notes.
Oh, they're over here. Found them.
Ah, that's where they are. Why is their bounding box so big?
I don't know. Why the fuck is it massive? That is what she said. Like, look how massive that is. Why the
Huge!
fuck? What the fuck?
Oh.
Like, look at that. Look how fucking...
Come back here a sec. Come back here a sec. Let me just.
Yes. I believe I saw some of that.
Womp womp. Oh, you're not showing him photos. Never mind. You just look like you had the camera controls in your fucking mouth. Getting late. Needs sleep.
It was nice chatting with you, but it's getting late and I need to sleep. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Go eat.
I am gonna show this.
Yeah, that's how to see.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I've been not using as many swear words lately because I've been attempting to be more creative. So brace yourself. We're going to be using some language because I'll be reading, okay? We're going to enjoy the article the way it was intended to be enjoyed. Just fucking use HTML. Hey, dipshit. You know what loads faster than your bloated, over-engineered mess? Plain, unadulterated HTML. And you know what doesn't break every motherfucking Tuesday? HTML that just fucking works. Why the fuck are you overcomplicating things, you masochist fuck? You're out here acting like you're building the next goddamn moon landing when all you need is a button and some text. I feel like we felt that one, okay?
When I heard that at first, I was just like, yeah, not only did I felt it, I embodied that. Because you go look at my blog site. You can, like, when you look at my blog site, you can tell where I am using the, where I am using, has little, of like divs and whatnot to my best ability. You missed the fucking intro to this video. It is great.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to re-roll this for you.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking use HTML. Hey, dipshit.
Yeah,
you know what loads faster than your bloat over-engined mess?
I have to agree with this though, because like YouTube, fucking, why is it so goddamn slow to respond to my user input, especially when I have a big ass playlist on the side? It takes it fucking forever. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And
I thought you meant like Google's like, what? You don't have a gigabit per second internet connection?
Well, it's not just that. It's just like all of like it has to load everything, and it's just like when I have start up a YouTube video with like a playlist that's big on the side, like I notice Firefox will just go from like 100 CPU usage, and it will jump up to it's at 600 CPU usage, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Twitch isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Discord isn't that bad. What the fuck are you doing?
Smoking crack.
Apparently.
I have a complaint about the video, though. What is with the comparison to the moon landing? The moon landing, the thing that is famous for having a whole bunch of engineering effort put into it to reduce the weight and increase the simplicity of and reliability of every system on it.
Yeah, that
It's
part.
that is over-engineered. That's what it's saying, is that you don't need to make your simple-ass website overcomplicated and over-engineered in case of weird situations, because let's be honest, most of those won't fucking happen. If it happens, someone will report it to you, and you can probably fix it a lot simpler.
I hate Discord for how many fucking divs they have. Like, I think I counted like 12 divs just to get to the user profile picture.
Oh yeah, I've gone through that before, and I think like when I've been trying to like inspect it, I've had times when it's basically frozen up the entire fucking browser because I have to inspect it. Like I have to open it up in the browser version. It's like, okay, now inspect this, and there goes the browser again. Cool.
Yeah, same here. Like, it's just like, inspect. And then it's just like 12 minutes later, oh hey, the inspect window finally opened up to the element I want. Jeez, that took forever.
Like I think I opened like the developer tools first, and then like inspected it, and it crashed a couple times in Firefox.
Yeah, like it's.
I think a few times in Zen as well.
It's so fucking bad.
Shall we finish this?
Yeah.
Truth and real. You know, there's I know this is meant to be somewhat satirical and somewhat just angry at the state of web, which I agree with, that we kind of are in a ridiculous spot in web that you have to send down megabytes of JavaScript to make just to make a marketing landing page that has like 2 buttons on it and a couple images. It's kind of just like batshit insane that we are living in this world. But there is a great exercise. I can't stop thinking about this. I forgot who sent it. I'll give you the basics of it. Okay, so there's this tweet I saw, and effectively they said something along the lines of, we spent like 5 hours trying to get all these play buttons to stop playing video on some certain action throughout the website. And then a senior engineer just simply threw in just a very simple for loop, and that's all you really needed to do. And it was just the massive forgetting that JavaScript just has a whole bunch of stuff that's available, and you can just do that. You can just write code. I feel so dumb. There you go. I feel so dumb. A staff engineer are both working on sister projects that involve playing audio. We both need to make sure playing one track stops whenever it was already playing. I spent hours adding React context bullshit. He just added this. Cinema. I feel like I can feel it in the bones of this right here, which is just like, hey man, sometimes you can just write 3 lines of code.
It's so fucking
it's a for loop. Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of like some things in Resonite where it's like, oh yeah, like so you can make this complex protoflux system, and someone's like, have you used this component? This component does what it like you want it to. I had a moment recently with this, like I was working on like a slider, and they wanted like the slider to be like it like represents how much that is visible is of the whole scroll rect for UIX. So it's like, and they're having weirdness where it's either like being weird to control, or like it's being weird one of 2 ways. And I'm like, okay, let me have a look. And it's like they were driving like something and not using some elements of a component. I'm like, why are you doing that? Oh, doing it like ourselves. I'm like, okay, let me have a look into it. I eventually used those fields they didn't use, and the thing they were already doing. And it solved the issue rather than the complex math they thought they were going to have to do. Like the component just deals with it.
Yeah.
Like it just, like as long as you set things up right, it just dealt with it.
Yeah. It's one of those interesting things. Like
It's just a funny moment sometimes.
yeah, but this is why it's always just like, it's good to try and build stuff yourself, because then you kind of get more familiar with shit.
An understanding of how it works rather than just, okay, here's the thing, assume it works, and it's like, okay, how's it work then?
Yeah, like with that React thing, it's just like, Why did you not just try base JavaScript first?
Yeah, it's like sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution.
It's kind of the rule I follow, which is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Simple, stupid. Yep.
Keep it simple, stupid. How hard is it to do that? Keep it as simple as possible.
Apparently very hard.
Apparently, especially for web devs, where they have to make a new framework every 5 fucking seconds.
Web devs on their way to write 500 lines of code when they only need 3.
Is even?
Maybe it's not the best way to handle it because it's kind of like this one-off function that can kind of get weird, and maybe it's not the most extensible thing ever, but guess what? It works. It's actually quite simple. It's really not that hard to maintain. Maybe you don't need an architecture astronaut just to simply turn off all the audio. Maybe you should just turn off the audio. You know what I mean? Maybe just do the thing as opposed to trying to make the entire system that's not designed to do this thing to do the thing. Yeah, and of course, 6 months later, why is audio randomly muting on the site? Sure, you will find that out. It's actually really not that hard to figure those things out, but you cannot tell me that hours upon hours of coming up with the perfect architecture all the time is worth that maybe potential future that you might have to debug something. Like, sometimes it's okay just to do the thing. Newsflash, asshole.
Like, that reminds me of... I was watching Technology Connections video once, where it's like the danger of but sometimes being in that example it was like LED traffic lights rather than incandescent,
and where they would get covered up by the snow because they didn't produce enough heat.
Yeah, because it didn't produce enough heat because incandescents used to do that, and it's like, well, we must use incandescent then because otherwise when it snows it'll be covered up and it will be doing that. And it's like, firstly, you're missing the part where, for traffic lights, if you cannot make out any of the things on it,
you shouldn't be driving.
Treat it. No, well, that first. But if you can't make it out and it's not a problem with your site, you treat it as a stop sign.
Yeah.
In most countries, that's the rule. If you can't make it out, like if the lights are off or the lights are covered and you can't make it out, it's a stop sign.
Yeah.
You stop. You see if it's safe to go. If it's not, you don't go.
And if it's covered in snow, you might want to think about, traveling.
Yeah, but the other thing was like, okay, so we put that... Okay, so with the LED ones, you put a heater that, okay, will make it maybe comparable, maybe even more electric use than the incandescents. The thing is that you need to remember is it doesn't snow every day in most places. If it does, sure, using incandescents they'll probably be better. But if it doesn't snow all the time and it only snows on occasion, then you'll get more electricity, less electricity used more times than not, so that when you have to use it and it does a lot, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's that but sometimes that people go...
The other thing I have to say is, it also applies to, programs, too. The Linux kernel. It's just oh, well, this is feature, but sometimes a user might do this instead. Okay.
Yeah.
And
the thing of but sometimes applies to all areas of life. Being but sometimes this might happen. Yeah, but how frequently is that going to happen? If it's not frequent, don't worry about it until it happens.
I remember...
And just plan for an event when it does happen, and not just avoid it completely.
I remember one person was complaining about something. Oh, I forget what it was. But they were bitching and complaining about something and how it should be part of the Linux kernel. And this one person just straight up went fuck that. That should not be part of the Linux kernel.
So kernel should be generally low-level stuff. If it's not low-level or integral to every system functioning,
They
Don't you have it?
it was something, I forget what it was, but it was like a very obscure thing that only needed to be done like once once a year type thing.
So
and it-
basically that, but what if?
Yeah.
But sometimes.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
but
this can
sometimes
happen, and this would make it easier. It's like, okay, but how often is that going to happen? Is it completely incapable of doing that without being in the kernel?
like so
Probably not, because otherwise it'd be in the kernel already.
I think the complaint was like, oh, like if I leave my computer running for more than a year, my GPU stopped working, and so I had to write a script to where every year my computer will restart.
Okay, if it's something like that, then firstly, if you add that into the kernel, that's going to break everything that doesn't assume that's the case. Like, imagine
Also, you
the
should just
server
fix
that
the
runs
bug.
YouTube. Yeah, just fix the bug. And it's like, okay, there's an XKCD for this, where it's like, we
Yeah.
fix this bug. Hey, I was using that bug because it's like,
Oh, I thought
like,
you were
I had
referring to
when I
the to the timer XKCD, not the spacebar heating XKCD.
I can't remember if it was spacebar, but it's something I was like, if I press this key, then the system
It's the
overheats or
spacebar
something.
heating. I configured
yeah.
my Emacs to interpret a rapid rise in temperature as control, because my control key is inconvenient. So I just hold down spacebar for a bit, and your software spikes makes my CPU overheat, which causes which is interpreted as control. Please add a config option to bring back spacebar heating.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
like,
I'm just here like, first off, why the fuck are you running a computer, like a desktop computer, for over a year without a restart?
yeah, like even like me, when I've got my computer, sometimes I'll put it to sleep rather than completely shut it down, so it keeps charging my headphones. But like the spare battery for my wireless headphones.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I will just turn it off
Well,
because it needs to be turned off.
Yeah.
I need to reboot at some point.
like the thing I always like to point out is like, it is so stupid how much of a dick waving competition it is to say my computer has been running for this long without a shutdown or restart. Like, cool, I don't give a fuck. Can it restart?
So, fun fact, like for a while, I was like not updating my phone. I somewhat still am, because like, ooh, what time am I go big? Like,
Yeah.
I'm very stupid. Don't do what I do. I
Yeah.
do it because I'm pretty sure that no one's gonna give a shit about me.
Yeah, it's like one of those stupid things which is like, it's just a big number, but like the more
Yeah,
important
it's a
thing
stupid
is
big
that
number.
like the other thing is that like, if a computer, when you restart it, can boot up fine and everything starts up fine when you reboot it, that's a much better computer than a computer that has been on for decades, hasn't had a single fucking restart, and then you go to restart it and boom, it doesn't turn back on anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways,
yeah. Anyways,
The web was doing just fine before your bloated frameworks crawled out of the sewer. You're out here dropping 10 grand on some fancy ass framework like it's Gucci purse just to haul around the same shitty groceries you could have carried out in a plastic bag from 1995. What the hell are you jumping through all these hoops when HTML's been sitting there ready to go since the dawn of the goddamn internet? Truing.
so I love this part because it's so goddamn true of just like, these frameworks are so bloated and so shit, and yet they are treated as if they're Gucci purses and whatnot. Like, goddamn.
So you call yourself a web developer. Fucking pathetic. You got to be kidding me, asshat. Do you even fucking know how to display a button on the screen without the current modern fuckery you lean on? Here, little shit, here's your button. Fucking button. Fucking button. Come on, please tell me you say something in the console. What do you say in the console? What do you say in the console? When it comes to Firefox, it's, what is it? Is it Control-Shift-I? Please tell me you did something with that one. Oh, man, it would have been so good.
It would have been cool if he attached some JavaScript to whenever the button's pressed, it just says, "Here's a fucking button press, dipshit."
Yeah.
That'd been
It's just
so.
like, you're looking for an Easter egg? You're looking for an Easter egg? Here, you fucking Easter egg, you little shit.
It would have been so good to have like a little, hey, button clicked, button clicked, button clicked. Damn. Okay. All right. Tattoo this code on your forehead so that when you remember, let's see, so you'll remember when you look at your fat face in the mirror. Button. But did you notice something, you smug bastard? This HTML shit is the fucking Energizer bunny. Energizer bunny of the web. It just keeps going. No fancy plugins or updates required. Your precious framework's out there choking on its own hype, obsolete before you even finish the tutorial. While this button's still kicking ass like it's 1995. It's been here since the web was screaming toddler, and it'll still be standing when your stack's just a dusty footnote in some asshole's commit history. Can't make shit beautiful with HTML, you say? Eat this, you pixel-pushing fuck. Why, it's beautiful. It's visible. It's clickable. It's just fucking beautiful. Seriously.
It's so great. And like,
It's clickable. It's just fucking beautiful.
yeah. Like, here's the thing, like, HTML's great. Combine it with CSS, it makes it beautiful. We don't need 20 divs for a fucking thing. We don't need 20 divs for a goddamn video player. We don't need 20 divs to make a goddamn button.
And like we have Tailwind now, so that cuts down on how important the frameworks are for being able to do this stuff scalably even more.
Yeah. Like, god damn.
What else do you fucking need, you entitled prick? A gosh darn participation trophy for using a framework to do what HTML does out of the box? Maybe a gold star for managing to overcomplicate something that's been solved for decades? Get over yourself, asshole. HTML works and it doesn't need your bullshit to prove it. Who hurt this guy? Twitter. Whoever he is, Twitter hurt him. I saw.
In my case, it wouldn't be Twitter. It would be fucking Discord and YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they are, in my opinion, the worst offenders of this. Like, not only does YouTube use, like, 20 divs, they also have custom elements. I am not joking. They use custom element tags.
Well, yeah,
Which-
that's pretty common now, and it's nice,
Well-
actually.
Well, here's the part that infuriates me, is that it's not so much that they use custom elements, but it's more like those elements work best under Chrome. So, like, and so when it detects that you're using fucking Firefox, it defaults to using JavaScript. Yeah. And I'm like, that is fucking stupid. Because these custom YouTube tags are apparently in, like, I don't know how true it is, but it's like, if this is true, which this is Google we're talking about. I wouldn't put it past Google doing this, where the custom HTML tags can be picked up by Chrome, like Chromium, and easily converted into an easier functioning element that way, using like the underlying code of Chromium instead of going through fucking JavaScript. Like, goddamn.
It's just Shadow DOM, which is supported on everything.
My point is that it uses JavaScript on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And shouldn't be done. But
Yeah.
But
Shadow
they do it.
DOM is on all the browsers.
It's. Yeah. Because if I know if I click on one of those custom elements in Firefox, it takes me to JavaScript code.
Fun.
Yeah. It's like, great.
I saw his tweet a while back. He's hurt by the web, okay? It might be React, maybe it's not React. You know? I don't know what caused his pain, but obviously something did. Now that we have AI, you still use JS frameworks? Are you fucking serious? AI's out here, a gift from the heavens, or at least Sam Altman's Nerd Fortress, ready to write your shitty little to-do app in 5 seconds flat. It can churn out pixel-perfect HTML, debug your fuck-ups, and probably even wipe your ass if you ask it nicely. But no, you're still humping your frameworks like they're a little last lifeboat on the Titanic. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you addicted to 10,000 dependencies in a build process that takes longer than your last failed relationship? Man, catch the stray from the relationship part. Damn, that hurts. Sam Altman's AI army is laughing at silicon balls off while you're knee-deep in React's virtual DOM shit, praying your app doesn't choke on its own bloated corpse. This isn't progress. It's a fucking tragedy. You've got a shiny new Ferrari in your garage, and you're still riding a rusty tricycle with a flat tire. Grow the fuck up. Why HTML rocks? Okay. Everybody knows HTML. Listen up, dipshit. Every fucking buddy knows HTML. Your dearly great grandma, she was out there in the goddamn trenches of World War II dodging Nazi bullets while hand-coding table layouts to send encrypted messages to the Allies. Your granddad, he's got a motherfucking PhD in HTML from the prestigious University of Who Gives a Rat's Ass, probably hanging right next to his I Survived Dial-Up. Your dad, that bastard was mumbling div and span before he could even choke out mama. Shit, even your drooling mutt probably has a side gig churning out HTML sites on Fiverr. So why the fuck are you still stuck answering your brain-dead questions? JC, get with the program. Wow, okay.
I like how it's like, fuck, shit, well, JC.
Honestly, I agree with that. Like, why the fuck are we doing so much stupid shit? For like...
Because what everyone's doing.
It's like so many lines of code for a basic article site. And it's just like, this doesn't need to be like this.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
Guys, a little length.
Like when I'm like sort of doing things like, I don't know how the fuck CSS works. Like if I can tell it, hey, here's what like basically like booking like Hugo sites and shit, it's already prepared. Yeah, I'll be fine with that. Like I can do like some things occasionally, but if I can just say like sort of set it and forget it, yeah, that works.
No fucking hydration errors. Drink some water, asshole. What in the ever-loving fuck is a hydration error? Sounds like some hipster bullshit a barista who spew when your overpriced oat milk latte isn't wet enough. Oh, my bad, bro. Your coffee got hydration error. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And tree shaking? Are you kidding me? What is this? A coding boot camp or a lumberjack convention? Yeah, boss, I spent all day shaking trees to trim my JavaScript bundle. Where's my flannel shirt? Who the hell invents this pretentious crap? I don't have time to decode your buzzword salad, you self-important jackasses. HTML doesn't pull this nonsense. It just fucking works. Also, tree shaking? Like, not including unused code isn't some new thing. How did we come up with tree shaking? Like, how did it even happen? How did it even happen? When did this happen?
I still don't fully understand what the fuck tree shaking means.
It's link time optimization, effectively. So JavaScript is an interpreted language, so it doesn't have a linking phase conventionally. So the people working on the compiler didn't have the standard linker terminology. The tree shaking optimization is effectively they build a rooted DAG of all of the calls that the JavaScript in the app makes, which is almost a tree. Then you metaphorically pick it up by the root and shake it until everything that isn't connected falls off.
So basically, if there's unreachable code that you know will be unreachable...
So, basically linking optimization.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's link time optimization, but because JavaScript isn't a compiled language and the people writing the tools didn't have the appropriate background, they just made up their own term.
And people wonder why I get so mad at web development.
Yeah, I don't want to go into web development because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
This shit pisses me off.
Though, to be fair, I appreciate having the more specific term for this specific link time optimization technique than just the catch-all of link time optimization. Because tree shaking is a different technique than inlining across compilation units.
I mean, it's fine to put it in a subcategory of linking optimization. Like, it's in the category of link optimization. But when you are constantly making up shit that already has terminology everywhere else, just fucking stop.
Yeah. We don't
Just
need
fucking
more
stop.
terminology. We don't need more terminology and acronyms all over the place. Tech already has too fucking many.
Yeah. We put some AI on your APU so that way you can do SIMD better, and it's just like, what the fuck did you just say? Like it's like, oh yeah, there's PoE on this APU so that way we can use ML at an accelerated rate, so that way you can have your LLMs produce more output, and it's just like,
Jargon is really important, actually. I appreciate the existence of jargon.
Jargon is good, just don't overdo it. If you're overdoing it too much, it's like, okay, stop right there. Like, before you speak all these fucking words,
and
distill it into something that people can actually fucking understand, rather than just more acronyms.
Yeah, and I suppose acronyms are a particularly pernicious form of jargon for understanding, and it would be preferable to have non-acronym jargon.
like,
Yeah, but then, like, for example, like...
the acronymic jargon is the worst. Like, it is the worst kind of jargon, because then you have to search up what the acronyms stand for. And when you're bombarded with, like, 20 to 30 acronyms, you're like, I am fucking done. I am not gonna take 10 hours out of my day to figure out what all these fucking acronyms stand for.
Yeah, because at that point you just go, sure, okay, that acronym's fine, whatever. And you stop looking at shit, and then it's like, at some point, you really should have looked at that shit.
Yeah. Like, the acronym jargon shit is too much.
Because when you get to the point of people actually not checking what it actually is, it's like, it's going too far.
Yeah, like, I remember watching a video, and they were saying, like, 10 different acronyms every, like, 10 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm done. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So.
Why did this happen? It's insane. Shake it, baby. We came up with tree shaking when we went backwards in evolution. You don't need to support HTML. Ever seen some motherfucker hire a whole team just to babysit HTML? That's fucking right. Nobody does that bullshit. HTML is so damn reliable, it doesn't need a 24/7 support hotline like some needy-ass framework, while your bloated over-engineered frameworks are out there throwing tantrums every time a browser updates or crying for patches every 5 minutes. HTML just sits back, cracks a beer, and does its damn job. So next time some slick salesman tries to shove premium HTML support down your throat, down the fuck off. You don't need to deploy HTML. Deploying HTML, that's easier than deleting your web or your browser's history after... Oh, wow! First off, I highly do not condone this activity, okay? It's the blight.
I condone that activity. Do it.
Yeah.
Do that activity.
Do that activity.
Do that activity.
Maybe not a binge, but, you know, it's not bad.
Do that activity. Okay. Just open up E621, just search Caillou Volpes, and then just do that.
Oh my god. Thing is, you know that at some point someone's going to be curious enough to actually do that, and then they're probably going to regret it.
I make some pretty tame YIF.
In what reference frame.
I mean, there's like a few CNC images.
Did you say conventionally attractive rat?
Wow. Anyways,
Mankind, that's just that. Just throw your files into the web server directory and boom, the whole fucking internet can see your crappy page. No 12-step deployment process, no DevOps wizard casting spells, no fucking Docker containers or CIC D's nuts pipeline. Just drag, drop D's nuts.
like, okay, this is kind of stupid. Like the no fucking Docker containers or CI/CD pipelines. So Docker containers actually have a use. They isolate shit. So like,
Isolating shit's good, but like what it is like you don't need why do you need a Docker container to build a website?
like
Where it could just be just HTML, CSS.
if it's just HTML and CSS, that's
There's
one
no
thing.
such
Like,
thing as a website that's just HTML and CSS. There's always a piece of server software that responds to HTTP connections and then serves stuff back as a result.
Okay. So basic thing of like fucking like Apache or something, like saying okay, here's the index file for this, like, and telling you where to find it. It'll point to it, but for the actual content of the site, the pages themselves, that will be
The
HTML, CSS.
The content will just be HTML, CSS, but there will still be the software that's responding to it. And if that software has a 0 day, you would want it in a container so that it can't attack the rest of the system.
so
But that's not what they're saying about containers, but that would be like for building the shit. Like, you don't fucking need that to build the shit. Maybe for running the shit, but not building the shit.
actually,
That's not what they're saying.
you do need it to build shit, at least in my situation, because I have a Docker and Docker thing that I have to like even if it was just like an Apache thing, like you would need to hook up the Apache to some like pass a directory into the Apache thing. But like you don't need that for like a basic site. But if you do anything like what I do, which is kind of a basic site with WASM, I need Docker and Docker in order to do that.
Okay. I mean, for that, when you're like getting other things involved, and it's getting a little bit more complex, sure, I can see
Like
any benefit in
like
that.
a basic Apache server. Yeah, no,
But
you just pull, you just fucking pull the Apache fucking Docker container and then just pass it a read-only
volume.
bind volume thing to it, and boom, there you go.
What I think this is saying is basically, for using containers for anything other than environment, why would you do that? Just write simpler stuff that doesn't require building and doesn't therefore require all this shit.
Yeah, and also I will say
For how you run it, that's up to you. Like, I could give you a zip file of the website and just send it to you. Can you open the index file?
Yeah.
And it will go from there, and you'll be fine. It's just the way of serving it might need an environment. But they're saying about building, not serving.
Yeah, I know for me, technically, I don't use Nginx. I don't use Apache. Like, the way my web server is built, it is built using ASP.NET Core. So it is its own web server. And so, technically, when I build it, it has to build the entire program along with it. So, my setup is a little bit more advanced, but I get WASM with like more streamlined stuff and whatnot. Basically, it's like compiling PHP.
But it's like, if you need to go to that extent, yes, but if you can do it without going to that extent, do the basic shit rather than go to the advanced shit straight away because that you can. Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yep, exactly.
Anyways.
Done. Meanwhile, your fancy frameworks need a goddamn NASA launch sequence just to push a button that says "Hello World." HTML doesn't give a shit about your trendy deployment tools. It's the dive bar of the web. Always open, no frills, just works. Your framework, the hipster cafe that's temporarily closed every time you need it. I don't understand why he's saying HTML is better than JS. I don't think he's saying HTML is better than JS. I think what he's saying is that this weird world we work in where HTML is a JS, meaning JSX, he doesn't like. I think that's what he's saying, is that there's so much of the web that's as simple as writing a bit of JavaScript and using a little bit of the HTML, and that's that, right? Like, maybe you don't need the universe. I mean, either way, I think HTMX is
I don't
great.
think this person's reading comprehension is very good, because they are saying that HTML is better than a JavaScript framework for the things the HTML can already do by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the point I agree with. It's just there's so many frameworks out there that basically reinvent HTML, and it's just like, stop.
Yeah, like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like this is basically just go in XKCD on standards.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 13 different standards. Let's make the standard to unify all standards. There are now 14 competing standards.
Yep. And it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
You can imagine me. I'm probably not like the best one to be asking, honestly. Okay. You don't need sparkling ass UI to make shit look good, dumbass. All you need is fucking brains. Every year, yet another steaming pile of shit gets released. Blazingly fast frameworks that are 2 farts ahead of the previous groundbreaking crap. Some color progress, more rounded corners, more colorful colors, and one more thing to learn. Fuck that. Just fucking use HTML. I shit you not. It actually looks good. Bold text.
So it's one of those things where it's literally just like, can we stop it with the rounded corners? Please. They're they're all over the goddamn place. Can we just stop?
I mean, for some things, I like rounded corners, but for other things, like, you don't need round corners on everything. Sometimes you can just have a box.
Yeah. So, you know what the Neo's interface looked like, right? Well, it was a bunch of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was very boxy.
And trapeziums.
Yeah. Like, I loved that look. I was just like, that looks good to me. And then here in Resonite, I'm like, ew! There's fucking rounded corners everywhere! Why? This isn't a fucking website!
Hey, Caillou.
Yeah.
Not to alarm you, but that video player has rounded corners.
Oh, I know! I fucking know! It pisses me off!
You can make your own video player without rounded corners and blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. I'll just turn into Bender and be like, I'm gonna make my own fucking video player with blackjacks and hookers. So, like, this shit just rounded corners everywhere just piss me off.
Check it. Underlined. Got it. Strike through. Highlighted. Emphasized. Check. Check. And holy shit, check again. HTML's been doing this for a while. Let's see. This while you were drooling over React. Oh, and abbreviations. HTML. Go ahead. Find your dirty trackpad behind the slice of pizza and hover over this motherfucker. Hyper motherfucking text. H2, big motherfucker. Perfect for screaming your point at the top of your lungs, like fuck frameworks. H3, slightly smaller motherfucker. Still loud enough to tell your subpoints to sit down and shut up. H4, even smaller for when you need to whisper some passive-aggressive bullshit. H5, you can still see me. Small, but not small enough to ignore. Like that fucking bug in your framework that haunts you every commit. H6, nobody even uses these unless you're writing fine print for your soul-selling terms of service. See? HTML got hierarchy, style, and your framework's out here trying to reinvent the wheel, but HTML already built the goddamn car. You overcomplicating prick. Interactive shit, HTML got it. No JS needed. You think your precious JavaScript for interactivity? Wrong, you clueless fuck. HTML got expandable sections baked in. Boom. Expandable, motherfucker.
So I did not know that. So I was looking how to make an expandable section in HTML, and I was searching a while, and I was coming across all these old posts, and then it's just like, I found it on like W3, and it's just like, and it was just like, introduce an HTML5, an expandable section. I'm like, oh my god, thank you. I don't have to fucking do some stupid shit.
because they introduced more things into HTML, so it's not needing to be done in HTML, CS, and JavaScript, so it can just be done in HTML. And then people then be like, oh, well, we already have this thing already. Why do we need HTML to do it? Like, use it. Goddamn, use it.
So the thing I always like to... The thing that doesn't make sense is people are like, but we already have a way to do it. Yeah, but this way's better. You know why this way's fucking better? Because it's actually using like C, C++, like compile time fucking code, bitch. It ain't using an interpreted fucking language. It's using code that's running on the machine that's more optimized for the machine. It ain't running some stupid slow ass fucking thing that's only single threaded. So it's just like, use the stuff that's going to be faster, not the stuff that you're already used to. Why do you think we're using fucking computers that have like 8, 16, 32 fucking cores on them? Like, if we was so dedicated to shit, like using the stupid shit the way we're used to, we would still be running single core fucking computers. Like, yeah.
Fucking boom, motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom. Popovers? Yeah. Native. No framework, no bloat. Eat this. Bam, 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 bam. That's new HTML. Open it, coward. Dialogue that make you cry for mommy. Still not impressed? Fine. Toss in a pinch of inline JS right in the HTML, you purist twat, and you've got native dialogues. Pay close attention. No build step, no frameworks, just raw pointers. Hello, you ungrateful shit. Close this beauty. Can I click outside of it? No, I can't. Doesn't even need to click outside of it. Forms that work on every Casio calculator. Be prepared to be underwhelmed, asshole. Type something. Hello. Email, foo@foo.com. A password you'll get, let's see, you'll forget in 5 minutes. Nice. Pick a number between 1 and 100. 6969. Boom. All right. Let's see. Oh, look at that little slide. Look at that. Let's check a little bit of date.
100.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that little bad boy. There we go. Set a time for your daily existential crisis. Okay, pick a date. Set your month for your quarterly breakdowns. January. Choose a week. Little color picker. Nice. Look at that. That looks nice. This is great. All of this. All right.
I like how one of the things of uploading files is like, upload any file you want, except only PDF, because we're assholes.
Wait, really?
Yeah, just like if you like hop back a second.
Submit your fate to the junk. This is great. All of this.
Upload a file you never see it.
Look at that.
Find again.
That looks
PDF
nice.
only because we're assholes.
I love this. Choose your favorite way of to waste time, you lazy prick. But I see it.
Yeah.
Upload a file you'll never find again.
PDF
PDF only, because we're assholes. I hate PDFs so fucking much.
Yep, that bullshit.
Yep.
They're
Fuck you,
definitely
Adobe.
the
Look at
worst
that.
file except for all the others.
What?
They're definitely the worst document format except for all the others.
At least you can edit most of the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can edit PDFs too sometimes.
I like how you had to add sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can edit PDFs sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you want to edit this? Too fucking bad.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That looks nice. This is great. All of this. All right.
Oh, can I say one thing real quick that I hate the most about PDFs?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've come across so many PDFs that are literally just images.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's not the point of a PDF.
Yeah.
But it could be.
PDF is more of a compiled output format than a editable document. And it's great that we have one of those. We need to have one of those.
Okay, but at the same time, it's a portable document format.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
didn't say
the
anything
fuck
about
are you just putting
editable.
pictures in there?
Yeah.
It didn't say non-picture format. Come on.
Fuck off.
Submit your fate to the junkie. Please select a number that's no more than 100. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Reset your expectations. Nice. This form was powered, is powered real, raw HTML. No frameworks were harmed because they were useless anyways. Nice. So, what's your excuse now, huh? Still clinging to your trendy framework like a scared little bitch? Dude, David Goggins doesn't even have anything on this guy. HTML is like the crusty old barstool that's seen every fight and still holds your drunk ass up. No questions asked. Frameworks are the flimsy plastic chairs that snap the second you lean back too hard. Over-engineered bullshit that collapses under its own weight. HTML doesn't need your pity or your damn fanfare. It's too busy being the spine of every site you've ever clicked on, you ungrateful prick. So keep jerking off to your latest tech fad. HTML is over here sipping whiskey, ready to outlast your entire career. Why not write assembly then? Oh, here comes the genius motherfuckers with the big brain counter argument. By the way, this is hilarious because this argument always happens. It's literally anytime you say something that's like, hey, maybe we don't need to use the kitchen sink to be able to develop something. Someone's like, no, well, why don't we just write an assembly then? It's like those people deserve to be slapped. If there should be
This man's beard touches the ground but doesn't get under his feet.
True. There should be some amount of money I can pay to slap somebody. Like, why can't we solve this with LLMs? Well, if you're...
Yeah, I hate that argument of, well, why don't we just write it in assembly?
Because assembly is a completely different thing.
Well,
Yeah.
it's basically like being like, well, why don't we make it super simple then? Like, it's like, no, we don't need to make
Assembly
it like basically
doesn't make it
building
simpler.
blocks. No, what I'm saying is like we don't need to go down to the base building blocks of the fucking computer to do this shit. Just go to simple enough.
And the thing about assembly too is that it's not that good at being used on multiple like systems. Like, yeah, you can write assembly for ARM, but that same assembly code ain't gonna work on x86-64.
There's a reason why the last game to be programmed in assembly was Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Yeah, like,
Because at that point, the industry was already moving over to just using higher level shit.
yeah, like C and C++. Like,
Yeah.
it,
And eventually to C#.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
And Rust.
Well, Roller Coaster Tycoon genuinely did have the staff to take advantage of assembly and did need the
It was one
micro
guy.
optimization. Yeah.
It was one
and
guy
that one
for
person
Roller Coaster
knew
1 and
what they
2.
were doing.
yeah, that one
Most
guy
teams
was a
did not
genius.
have a person on the staff that knew what they were doing with assembly.
Yeah, that guy was a fucking genius.
Yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, I'll write some code and then I'll put like sort of assembly in there. Nah, just do all of assembly.
Like,
The main thing is that because it was either wholly or in part assembly, can't move between architectures.
Yep.
Just
And
how it
I-
is.
And I do love
Which-
how one person was just like, oh, but like then like doesn't the kernel need to use assembly? I like literally saw someone say that and I'm just like, no.
Yes,
Like,
it does.
it-
It needs a few
well,
hundred
it
lines of assembly.
It does, but it only needs assembly to for the baseline
Bootstrap
before it can
itself.
to bootstrap itself. But
Like,
once it gets
and
into
the
if you
interact
like-
vector and the bootstrapping, and then a few other primitives for stack management and context switching.
Yeah, like other than that, like most things will be in a higher level language because
Yeah.
that's just what you do. And anyways, in the end, things will be basically compiled down to something simpler than fucking assembly.
Yeah, like you just need to get those assembly parts started up, and once they're
Yeah.
started, like once you get those basic assembly, you can just call, like you can just use them in the fucking kernel. That's why the Linux that's why a lot of these kernels are portable, especially the Linux kernel, because it's designed to be able to just call
Yeah,
into
like-
those assembly files.
Yeah, like, let me nick that. No, I can't. Shit. I was going to nick the pen just to quickly draw something.
So,
I can't. Commissions.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
There's that back. Yeah, it's like, okay, here's the hardware. And it's like, all you need is enough to seal over that thing so you have a solid foundation to work on. Then you can work in C, C++, Rust, Brainfuck, whatever the fuck you want. You
Yep.
just need to have a good foundation. This is where the assembly is in the kernel. The kernel is just in, like, a language like C, C++, things like that.
Yeah, 99% of
And
the
then
kernel's
you'll
just up there.
And then things build on top of the kernel. Things don't need to go down to the fucking hardware level. You don't need that. You don't. This argument is just a straw man.
Yeah.
How about after this, I pitch a new kernel architecture design?
Is it called the fuck you?
No. But it could be.
Is it Risk?
It is not
Anyway.
Risk.
We'll love to hear it later.
Yeah.
Let's get through this.
HTML's so great, why not just write everything in assembly, huh? Wow, look at you, so clever little prick. Did you come up with that one all by yourself? Writing web pages in assembly is like using a fucking scalpel to slice your overcooked steak. Sure, it'll get the job done, but you're gonna look like a complete asshole while you're at it. HTML just works, you absolute tool. It's just been the backbone of the web since Al Gore flipped the switch. That's a pretty funny callback. And still, we'll be there long after your trendy framework is rotting in a GitHub graveyard. Oh, my GitHub. So take your smartass logic and shove it. HTML's king, and you're just a peasant with a keyboard. Al Gore catching strays? No, Al Gore said he invented the internet. So, I mean, come on. And rockets. HTML lends a crutch to your fucking JS. Did you know that when you slap an ID on your
Fuck you as
HTML
a
element,
Brit that invented the
HTML
internet.
doesn't just sit there like a lazy fuck? It actually creates a fucking variable in JavaScript for you. By the way, I forgot this, and like 6 months ago, I rediscovered this.
Wait, did you know that when you slap an ID on your HTML element, HTML doesn't just sit there like a lazy fuck? It actually creates... What? I'm not too sure what that means.
Basically, if you give it an ID, then you can refer to that element by that ID.
So, you know how HTML being an XML-like language, there's actually a proper term for that, but I forget it, has the attributes you can add to every element?
Tag-based.
Yeah?
One of the attributes in HTML is ID equals string. And if you set that, the ID needs to be unique on the page, but then it will assign a variable with that string name into JavaScript, and also you can get by ID on the window interface. Get element by ID, document.get element by ID,
Okay, I knew
and you can
that.
retrieve the ID.
I knew that one, the window.getElementById, by ID, but I didn't know it actually created a variable.
It is an obscure thing, and it is not the best idea, because this can cause
It can cause headaches.
namespace problems, where
Yeah.
things disagree about what should be in the global namespace.
Yeah. This is why I kind of
Stop injecting random shit into the global namespace.
This is kind of also why I kind of just prefer to render the HTML on the server side and try and prevent has very little fuckery on the client side. So
Fun little tidbit, because I haven't raw dogged JavaScript in a while, and I was like, oh yeah, it does do that, huh? It's true, it does do that. Yeah, it does that. I forgot. Yeah, you heard me, you clueless bastard. You don't even have to lift a finger. HTML's out there doing the heavy lifting while your JS is still trying to figure out how to tie its shoes. Now go try it. Open the console and type I am doofus. Boom. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, got me. I've been had. And boom, there it is, you ungrateful shit. HTML just handed you a variable on a silver platter and you didn't even have to beg for it. This is basic shit and you don't even know this. Congrats. You're officially dumber than a bag of rocks. This is HTML flexing its muscles, showing you it's not some kind of static bitch. It's dynamic, it's powerful, and it's been carrying your sorry ass since day one. Meanwhile, your JS is out here acting like it's the star of the show when really it's just riding HTML's coattails like a cheap date. So next time you're jerking off to your fancy JS frameworks, remember HTML is the one doing the real work and has been laughing at your overcomplicated bullshit. Words of wisdom. Are you guys ready for some words of wisdom now? Are you ready?
I think
for some
we're
words
ready.
Of wisdom?
There we
Also,
go.
I would just like to say I don't think web components are that bad. It's kind of, let's see, it's the kind of page that makes you want to weep tears of joy and throw your overpriced JavaScript framework out the window. It's the kind of page that makes you want to quit your job and become a full-time HTML evangelist. It's the kind of page that makes you want to start a cult dedicated to the worship of HTML. It's the kind of page that makes you want to write a love letter to HTML and send it to the HTML gods. It's the kind of page that makes you want to build a shrine to HTML in your living room and invite all of your friends over for a candlelit HTML worship session. It's the kind of page that makes you want to start a YouTube channel dedicated to HTML tutorials and rants. It's the kind of page that makes you want to write a book about HTML and self-publish it on Amazon. It's the kind of page that makes you want to start a TikTok account dedicated to HTML and post daily HTML dance videos. It's the kind of page that makes you want to start a LinkedIn account dedicated to HTML and connect with other HTML professionals. Just fucking use HTML.
Like I'll ever make a TikTok account.
Yep.
Just fucking use HTML. All rights reserved. You're framework-loving losers.
Good take. I'd subscribe to his plain F ink text email newsletter.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. If you're still using frameworks, at least have the decency to slap an error tracker. Nice. On that mess early. Your app's going to crash and burn anyways, even if it's raw HTML, but might as well watch it unfold. It's nice. Is this like the greatest ad ever created? A lightweight, self-hosted Sentry alternative without a subscription. Oh, that's funny. That's what a way to sell that. That is clever. Hey, good website. Hey, good website. I absolutely love that. That was pretty good. Please, everyone go and build TimeCube sites like this at work. Please, I need a new job. This guy sounds like a good developer, but a bad seller. I don't know. That was funny. I thought it was great. That was great, right? Let's see. Just put tracing on it and send it to Jagger. Oh, yeah. Nick or Mick.
Okay. So, but yeah, no, I agree a lot with that. It's just use HTML.
Yeah, like where you can use HTML rather than using a combination of the three or even two, do it.
Yeah, just
And
please.
HTML has all the nice ARIA support too.
Yeah, like just please stop trying to overcomplicate shit and like I heard people be like, oh, but like React is meant to make sites look pretty and whatnot, and I'm just like, fuck off.
CSS, motherfuckers.
Yeah, CSS. And it's
I don't understand CSS, but some people do. If you understand it, hey, you're better than me.
And they're like, oh, but it's also helped build a more dynamic website and blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
dynamic was why JavaScript was invented, to be supplementary to HTML and CSS, not to replace them.
yeah. And even on top of that, I still feel like a lot of stuff is kind of more just like, you should probably try and build.
It depends on what you're doing.
Personally, I feel like a lot of sites should be more build the HTML on the server and have it send out that way, and then have JavaScript be supplemental to that to where it can
that's
change
hydration.
What the fuck?
It was mentioned in the video, and people were being mad about it, but that's hydration, where you render the HTML on the server and then send it over to the client, and then the client parses the HTML and attaches JavaScript to it. That's that's hydration. That's what was mentioned there.
Okay, so what you should do instead is, here's your HTML, here's your CSS, here's the JavaScript. HTML is a framework of it. It's your fucking skeleton.
Yeah.
The CSS, that's your fucking clothes, right? JavaScript, that's the thing that makes you fucking move. But still, a lot of things can be done in HTML.
I disagree with that because the hydration actually fulfills an important purpose in allowing an initial load of the page to have content in it while still having actual interactivity so like if you have a page that allows you to do some kind of somewhat sophisticated cross-filtering operation on data, it potentially needs to be able to retrieve significant amounts of data from the server when changing a configuration or when switching to a new set of data. It is useful if the pre-rendered data comes down in the HTML the moment you retrieve it, so that, for example, a thumbnail, a preview, a search engine, and the first second it renders will all work correctly and look right. That is actually a desirable property. Things that are documents should be entirely HTML as much as possible with tiny amounts of supplementary JavaScript. Things that are interfaces, things that are applications, those it makes much more sense to actually take the framework approach, where you make things more primarily JavaScript with the tooling to make it easier to specify UI as a pure function of application state, for instance.
Honestly, the one thing I would say for the most part is that a basic, like, websites should at most be basic applications at most. If you need anything more complicated than, like, a video search and playback, like, if you need something more complex than that, build a fucking app that does that. Because that's going to be way better.
While it would be great, currently we do not have the tech to do the same kinds of dynamic compositional cross-integrated UIs on ordinary desktop apps that we can do in the web browser. And so it is preferable to do some of this stuff in the web browser rather than just not having it work.
Explain. Because I can make an Avalonia UI that works on Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, iOS.
And are you familiar with notebook-style computing interfaces, like Pluto or Jupyter?
Nope.
I'm
okay.
aware of them.
Yeah. So those can... They did actually attempt to originally do that as a standalone application, the way you suggested, and it turned out to be so impossible to work with to do the stuff that they were trying to do that they had to rewrite it all to switch to using using a web browser. Because before it was Jupyter, it was IPython, which was written using native UI toolkits, and they had to switch over to the browser in Jupyter to get it to actually work correctly. So these notebook-style compute is effectively you have a box with code in it, with your full IDE support, syntax highlighting, autocomplete, whatever. Then at the end of this box of code, you have a section of UI generated by this code. So this might be a slider to let you adjust the value of a variable dynamically with a slider. It might be a complicated graph that renders a whole data pipeline. It might be an image. It might be an animated SVG with event handlers that call back into the code. And the only thing that lets you just dynamically synthesize UI like that and be able to just safely drop it into the middle of the layout and connect the event handlers is heavily JavaScripted HTML, effectively.
Yeah,
and
but
so
the main thing that they were saying is, hey, you don't need JavaScript frameworks to build the look of the website.
Which is why I said for things that are primarily documents, you absolutely should be making it almost entirely out of HTML with just a little bit of JavaScript here and there. But for things that are interfaces, it makes sense to take the interfaces and applications. It makes sense to take the primarily JavaScript-driven approach to synthesize things from a pure function of application state.
I mean, for example, like say YouTube. So you've got here's your window. It's like, okay, this side is like the side panel. You've got your search bar up here, buttons, whatever. And say we're on home page, so it's like, here's our videos. It's like here.
Yep.
And whatever. And it's like everything but these videos, I believe, could be done HTML, CSS with ease. Maybe not like the account stuff. That'll probably be depending on whether you sign in or not, and so cookies and a little bit more complicated.
Nope. This navigation bar is iterating across a list internally, generating a whole bunch of stuff. This search bar has the dynamic completions interface that pops down as you start typing, and a bunch of other stuff.
Maybe the advanced features has a bit of JavaScript.
My main thing is just like, YouTube is an example of, like, it does one job and it does it really well.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking whole-ass IDE that is meant to cover as many languages as fucking possible to be a fucking web page.
And I would love for that not to be the case. But that people have not developed the tech to do it a different way yet. I am working on developing that tech, but I haven't yet.
Like, I'm just here like, the only reason I use Visual Studio Code is as a text editor. That's basically all I use it for, and I rarely use it. Like, when I'm editing stuff, I'm primarily in either Vim or fucking JetBrains Writer. Like, so like a dedicated IDE or a terminal text editor. I'm not using a fucking website to edit files.
Fair. Yeah, all I'm saying is that maybe not YouTube itself, but a video platform like this, where you might have a side panel here, like with some general categories like movies, TV, sport, gaming, nothing too personalized. That could be a pretty standard HTML, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript to make it like do the things when you press the buttons. But for things like search bar, if you don't have the autocomplete stuff, which for the most part, like sometimes it doesn't even give you what you want. Like a search bar, you can just do a form, and that will work. And then for this, like the video showing up, that's the only example where you'd need to do probably like hydration, where it's like, okay, in the JavaScript you formulate the structure of HTML, but that's it. Like it would be like, oh hey, like it'd be like the video is like this box, there's like a little preview, like the name of the video, how many views it's got, and then who uploaded it. And that'd be like a little bit of a template that is in the JavaScript, but the styling of it, that doesn't need to be taken care of in JavaScript. That can just be plain CSS.
Yeah, that can be CSS. But like most of the page still needs to be dynamically generated HTML. And if you want it to look correct when it first loads up, you need to do a framework that can handle hydration, or manually do it, which is way more frustrating and difficult.
I mean, manually doing it would be like, hey, like, I don't know what it would be like. I'm assuming it'd be some kind of request to the server saying, hey, I want like the video, some recommended videos. It'd go, hey, here's like a list in JavaScript of, like, it'd be JavaScript of saying, hey, I want some content. It gives you a list, which is the data to put into a structure that is just HTML that's been made using JavaScript in the DOM, rather than doing it all over here being like, oh, we can't do this over here, we'll have to do it over in the server. It's like...
What?
My main thing is, I'll just be like, that irritates the fucking shit out of me, is when I'm on YouTube and I see all of the spots where the fucking stuff should be at, but they have that loading animation, and I'm just like, why the fuck are you still loading? Why are you loading? Like that kind of thing, where it's just like, why the fuck are you loading? Why is it taking you so long to load? Why not just embed this into the HTML when you send me the HTML?
That's what I'm saying, is that... Okay. Go on.
Yeah, well, that's hydration. Embedding the initial into the HTML, embedding the initial images and text into the HTML when they send it, and then making the JavaScript reattach to it. So YouTube in particular actually is a difficult case for this because of the amount of images, the amount and density of the images, which would cost loading time. And so there's a trade-off between seeing the images very slowly pop in and seeing them scan in badly, or having a loading animation that only shows you the image when it is actually ready. Because even if they do embed the image into the HTML, or it still takes time for that data to go over the wire. And I think it is preferable to have the skeleton of the website render correctly immediately, rather than having the white page with black text, the top parts come in, and then
You're getting what I was saying wrong. Like, I'm saying, okay, HTML, CSS is there, and it pushes that basically blank website without the videos to you first. Then the JavaScript runs, which says, hey, I need the videos, and then the platform sends it back saying, yeah, sure, here you go, and it will render the text instantly. Maybe the thumbnails and like the channel things would take a little while to load, but the website would be there instantly.
Yeah.
Because you're not waiting on computation on the server. It just sends you a basically sort of file already that's got most of the things already there.
But that gives you an extra round trip to the server before the text shows up, and you could by doing the hydration, you could include the text immediately in the HTML, and then the images can load in later with an animation.
The problem there is, if your internet is slow, then you'll send off that sort of first request, and it's like, okay, and it's sort of like doing it, and then it sends you a massive wall of things to download all at once, which sometimes can take a while.
My main thing, though, is like, why the like, I'll be sitting there looking at the stupid animations for 10 fucking minutes, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I can't use your fucking site because you're fucking loading God knows what up your fucking ass, Google. Like, just give me like the first 5 fucking videos and then load the fucking rest. I don't give a fuck how you do it. Just give me something so I'm not sitting here on my ass for 10 fucking minutes waiting for your fucking shit to respond.
Yeah. A lot of websites do not gracefully degrade when the network connection isn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's the thing, like, just have like the thing sent over already,
Just give me something in the initial send. That's all I ask, is give me something in the initial send.
the main thing is that like the closer you get to like sort of more pure HTML, like not running like something that will like sort of inject content into it, like ASP.NET. Like with ASP.NET, like it sort of does that on the server side and put the content in there, sends it to you because it knows what should be going in there. The closer you get to the HTML, the more you need to do that second trip to be like, okay, website's loaded, I need to get the data to put in here.
Well, ASP.NET can do both. So, but it's just so frustrating and annoying when sites, they're just like, I'ma just load a basic bitch thing with no fucking information, no nothing, and then spend so fucking long processing the data you fucking want. Especially when it's a goddamn news article. Like, what the fuck are you processing in a fucking news article that takes 10 minutes?
I'm going to be honest, like, if it's a news article, that should just be a static page.
It should!
Well, mostly. I have seen some news articles that make good use of dynamic content for showing some of the data that the news article is about. Like with an embedded D3JS diagram. But the vast majority of it should be static HTML.
I'm going to be honest, like, if there's graphs or something, just fucking embed them as pictures. Don't, like, because then, like,
interactive graphs are great.
I will have to agree on that. Interactive graphs are great. But, at the same time, like, the body of the HTML should be ready to go.
Absolutely. And the data for the graph should be embedded in the initial request if it's not huge.
Yeah.
So that it just renders instantly.
That embedding means that you're not running pure HTML. You'll have to have something that basically like goes in there and puts it in there, which means, well, you're gonna have to do something else, like RSX, where it's like, okay, here's like sort of skeleton of it, and it's like a placeholder here for data the server should put in there, but you can't send that to the client until you've populated it. It's like, why?
Hold on.
Send them a skeleton, and then they can request the data they need.
Grand, hold on. I think they crashed.
Oh.
There's no movement from them.
Yep, that's no movement. But yeah, it's like... I imagine, I don't see a problem in like loading the page first, because then that loads the page first. The entire page is like sort of loaded, and it can be cached as is, and then the content that you get, well, that will like come later. So it's like, okay, you loaded the YouTube homepage, like unless that changes, you don't necessarily need to load that again. Like, you can cache like the sort of like background of it, except for bits that will be specific to you. But like the videos and the recommendations it will make, yeah, they crashed.
Yeah.
Like the videos and the recommendation it makes, like have that be as close to text as possible, and have that happen on the local PC where it's like, okay, we need 12 videos to put here.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, here's the data for 12 videos. And then as the user scrolls down, it's like, okay, I need more videos to put here.
But like,
and do it like that.
The one thing I'm like, give me like at least embed the first 12 videos into the HTML document, or at least the first 6. Because like, I shouldn't have to wait 10 minutes for you to load like 24 videos.
Yeah, and that's like the reasons, like what I was saying, like, so like rather than send full ass HTML, send like a list or like an object. Like, it's like, okay, like here is a list of videos. Each video has the name of the video, the name of the channel uploading it, the image for the profile picture, the image for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
You put it together on your system. That way, like the text will load immediately, and you'll see something. Maybe the images won't load
And
immediately.
don't fucking overcomplicate it with like 10 billion divs. You don't need 10 billion divs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it's like the example. Like I had one box, and then it would be like, okay, here's a thumbnail, and like maybe like with the way YouTube does it, you'll need a few sort of containers in there,
yeah,
but you probably won't need loads of them. The
yeah,
less the better, and you don't need excessive divs for excessive styling.
yeah. I am trying to look through a list while also trying to stay still. It's not easy.
That's what it was like for me before I like did the open composites stuff I've got, where it's like, okay, I can finally touch these without it, so like moving me around. I can scroll through things like, wee, I'm
Yeah.
scrolling.
Honestly,
Well, in theory, I would be.
I will say that I am also getting slightly tired.
Yeah.
So it's getting a little late. So I'm
Possibly.
thinking I'll just raid out. So let me get that going. Keyboard. There's no one else streaming Resonite. There's 2 beans I could raid out to. One is doing art. Wow, that is very cute. One is doing art. Another's doing random games. I wonder which one I should raid out to. I kind of feel like art vibey, you know?
Maybe. Oh, hi, Def. We're just about to finish up, unfortunately.
Wow.
It's unfortunate timing, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is some unfortunate timing because I am.
So we had a
needing
bunch
to-
of discussions about the video we just had,
Yeah.
which was basically just saying, hey, just use HTML, don't use JavaScript frameworks for building your HTML.
If you want to
just put HTML.
if you want to see everything we talked about, you can go look
You
at
watch
the
the VOD.
VOD. Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch the VOD if you want to watch it back.
Yeah.
But you can do that.
I'm not going to try and make this a Saturday thing because I prefer having my Saturdays freed. So,
Yeah. I have that until now. Yeah, I get you, Def.
Yeah.
Who's the art person?
the name is Rev.
Don't know.
The Rev, so.
Maybe raid them.
Yeah.
Some point we should meet and resonate. You've met me already, you fuck. I know you're talking about Caillou, but you've met me, you fuck. You've met me, you fuck.
Oh, god damn it.
Again. Oh, maybe you were talking to me and you're just like, oh, meeting up.
Hey, come on. What the fuck? Stay focused on that, you son of a bitch.
I mean, both of you. Ah, fair. Yeah, I need to see you. Yee.
Why the fuck do they keep adding underscores to their fucking name?
To what name?
Bitch, stop. It's so fucking annoying.
A little goofy there.
Alright. So we're gonna read out to the Rev. They're doing some art. So I hope you beans have a wonderful time. I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because it was gonna be Cosmetia, but one of my friends has to go across country for a fucking dentist appointment.
Oh, fun! I've got.
At least it's not the U.S. they're going. At least it's not the U.S. they're going across. It's like France.
Enjoy your stay.
So it's not that
I'm sorry
big.
for their loss. I'm sorry for their loss, having to go to France.
So, but anyways, yeah, I will see you beans tomorrow. I might be doing something with Devil, or I might just be doing something on my own. Either way, you beans have a wonderful time with the Rev. Wah wah.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Forgot to give them the raid message.
And whatever. Alright.